Embraced, drank from, celebrated for generations. It's also been dropped, dented, broken. It has survived fire and canceled seasons. But that resilient trophy and the game it represents keeps coming back. Welcome to Grey Cup 108 as we pick up from where we left off. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and a rematch we had to wait an extra year to see. The Bombers won the coin toss. They've deferred to the second half. The Tiger Cats want the ball. And Papi White, one of the heroes of last week, with a big punt return touchdown in the Eastern Final, along with Sean Thomas Erlington, is back to return the opening kickoff from Sergio Castillo of the Bombers. Oh, we've waited a long time for this. Time for the Grey Cup to begin again. Off the foot of Castillo and down to White. Inside the 5 for the Tiger Cats. Bumps into coverage and is finally taken down at the 23, where Dane Evans, who came off the bench and was perfect, Glenn Suter, in that Eastern Final last week.
Yeah, really solidified himself as the starter after the final against the Toronto Argonauts, where he went 16-16, over 200 yards, got the win. That's why they're here. That's why Dane Evans starts ahead of Jeremiah Masoli tonight.
Evans has only 3 starts this year. Earlier in the season, after the injury to Jeremiah Masoli, he went 2-1. In those 3, he got hurt. He was out for a while, and then got his chance to come in again last week, helping turn the Ticats around from the 24 and on the first down, quickly throwing off to his right, and he completes it to Tim White. First-year Ticat, he is taken down immediately by the weak side linebacker Kyrie Wilson.
Let's take a look at the starting group for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Up front, Chris Van Zyl is the most experienced football player on the field for both teams. 12 years in the Canadian Football League and the Jake Goddard Award winner this year. Jalen Acklin has become a playmaker in the receiving corps for the Ticats, over 100 yards in the Eastern Final.
The starting lineups brought to you by Expedia. Gain of just 1, second and long early on. First possession of this Grey Cup. Hamilton Tiger Cats. And on the passing down, looking to throw. Over the middle, knocked away. DeAndre Alford, the rookie corner in coverage on Brandon Banks, makes a nice play to knock it down and force the Ticats into a punting situation.
Well, this defense for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, #1 in the league all season long. This is one of the newcomers to the group in DeAndre Alford, who gets that first knockdown, get things started, and a 2-and-out for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers early.
Plus 4 degrees to start here in Hamilton. Nice and warm for mid-December. There is a breeze, and it's a strong wind right now for Joel Whitford. He's kicking against it. The Ticats against the wind to start, and not a bad punt to get it into Bomber territory, and a flag coming down. On that return is Janarian Grant inside Hamilton zone.
There is your most outstanding player in the 2021 CFL season. Zach Collaros, the starting quarterback for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, since joining the team back in 2019, has done nothing but win.
There is no infraction on the play. It will be first down, Winnipeg.
From the veteran referee, Andre Prue. But you're right about the whole Collaros story since coming to Winnipeg in 2019. Hardly at any time under his belt then. Went 4-0 if you count the playoffs, and this year he's really taken it a step further. The highest rated passer in the CFL in 2021. Goes to work inside the Ticat zone, handing off to Andrew Harris, and the Ticats, the top rushing defense in the CFL, do a good job against the Grey Cup MVP 2 years ago.
Well, it's the best offensive line in the league all season long, and Stanley Bryant is the only player in CFL history to win the Outstanding Lineman Award 3 times in his career in the receiving corps and tailback position. Andrew Harris, 136 yards rushing in the Western Final against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
And we weren't sure he was going to be able to play that game. He missed Just about half the season with a knee injury, a calf injury before that. He does pick up 4. It is 2nd and 6. Collaros and the Bombers. The heat's coming, and he has to throw it away close to Nick Dembski, but it's incomplete, and a 3rd down. Dylan Wynn. Part of that pressure. Julian Hauser, too, coming in for the Ticats.
Well, you mentioned the weather. It's outstanding here tonight for mid-December. Jagger Davis been a monster all playoffs in the last 2 games for the Hamilton Tiger Cats against Montreal and then Toronto. He gets there first. And I'm talking about this weather because of the field position and the weather behind the back right now. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers got to make hay. Well, they've got the win.
They will punt with the breeze at their back. It is Mark Leggio, the rookie, out of Western, to send it back to David Ungerer, not Poppy White, on the return. And trying to angle it out and get good field position. Have the Ticats back, but just goes out of bounds inside the 20. Had it been outside the 20, it would have been a penalty against Leggio. So that's where the Ticats and Dane Evans will go to work again. But Jagger Davis gets in on Zach Collaros. Forces Winnipeg into a 2-and-out. Grey Cup 108 from Hamilton. For the Tiger Cats on the road, they fell to 0-2 with Jeremiah Masoli getting hurt in Saskatchewan, bouncing back to 2-2 after a victory over the Argos on Labor Day. And even with David Watford in, their 3rd-string quarterback, they won a couple straight then. And then they returned to the Eastern Final. And Dane Evans came off the bench and was perfect. 16 for 16 to lead Hamilton into this Grey Cup game on home field. First time a team has hosted it since Saskatchewan back in 2013 against Hamilton.
Yeah, the dynamic completely changed from the 2019 matchup where Hamilton, after 15 wins in the regular season, were the heavy favorites against Winnipeg. Winnipeg, of course, won that game. Winnipeg, the heavy favorites tonight.
Hamilton's 2nd possession. Don Jackson, the running back, who's infused some juice into this Ticat offense, who played with Calgary in the Grey Cup in 2018.
Well, one of the reasons they're the heavy favorites is their defense, and it starts with the bookends up front in Jackson, Jeffcoat, Willie Jefferson. Outstanding years for both again. They had monster playoff performances in a Grey Cup in 2019. Adam Bighill, again, the Defensive Player of the Year in the Canadian Football League, and Brandon Alexander will play downhill. He's going to bring it from that safety position.
Bombers leading in just about every defensive category this season. 2-yard gain Jackson, so 2nd and 8 for Evans. Slipping off to his left, he's trying to find a receiver. He can't. The closest one is Stephen Dunbar, but the pressure was on Evans. And for the 2nd straight possession, the Ticats are forced to kick it away.
Rod, one of the things that Dane Evans learned in that 2019 championship is that they got behind so quickly in that game against the Bombers and their defense, turning the ball over. That was one he just threw away. Rather than force it to throw, force a turnover, and give the Bombers even better field position with the wind at their back in the 1st, he just threw that one in the dirt, take the loss, punt the football.
Yeah, 2 years ago, 1st possession, intercepted. 2nd possession, Willie Jefferson strips the ball, and off that turnover, Hamilton found the end zone on the very next play. So back is Joel Whitford, the Australian, global play. Good low driving punt against that breeze. A punt to 42 yards, and Janarian Grant gets it inside midfield and just inside the 50, where they're saying the ball came loose and the Ticats are claiming they have it. Who was last to touch it before going out? They discuss it.
No, give it to him. It's our ball.
Wouldn't this be big? Turnovers plaguing the Blue Bombers last week in the Western Final. The fans await Andre Proulx. Discussion continues. Janarian Grant. Ball comes out, and it was a Ticat, last one to touch it. Felix Garan-Goche. Looks like Hamilton football. It's Tiger Cat football after this fumbled punt return. Suits by Janarian Grant.
Yeah, Mike Daly gets first coverage and gets Grant turned inside, and then it's last touched by Hamilton as it goes out of bounds. That's a fumble for sure, not down by contact. Ball is out, and there's the touch.
Went off the arm of Felix Garand-Goche. So, big turn of events here for the Ticats. Up closer to midfield. It's intercepted by Alden Darby. It got deflected at the line of scrimmage, and just like that, one big play deserves another. Winnipeg football.
Well, even if they're not in the face of the quarterback, the bookends are making a difference and disrupting the play. The Winnipeg Blue Bomber defensive end, in this case it's Willie Jefferson off the edge. He gets cut and blocked at the line of scrimmage nicely by Chris Van Zyl, but he gets up there and gets in the throwing lane. He tips it up in the air, and then it's intercepted the back end.
Willie Jefferson, just a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. He was for Evans 2 years ago. Winnipeg ball. Collaros over the middle, and he completes that one in traffic. It's caught by the leading receiver in the CFL this year, Kenny Lawler.
Only receiver over 1,000 yards this year in the shortened COVID season. Just 14-game regular season. Zach Collaros hits him on the dig route right over the middle.
Lawler, the only one to go over 1,000 yards in the regular season. And a few words afterwards exchanged. A gain of 14. Winnipeg on the move. Outside the Hamilton 30. Andrew Harris, his second carry, and once again, Hamilton's defense up front does a good job on number 33.
One change on the D-line. It was this week when Ted Laurent, the defensive tackle, had appendicitis and emergency surgery early in the week, was back in the meeting. So Lee Autre will start at his spot. Simone Lawrence, finalist for defensive player again, losing to Adam Bighill this year. And two changes in the secondary. Tunde Adeleke goes from the safety spot to halfback. And Stavros Katsatonis will play safety. Young start of UBC in the middle.
That's after the injury to Desmond Lawrence of the Ticats, their corner last week in the Eastern Final. 2nd and 8. Collaros. Heat's coming. Dumps it off for Harris, who does catch it, but just back really around the line of scrimmage. So a good athletic play, but still it will be 3rd down, and with the wind at their backs, a definite field goal situation coming up here for Winnipeg.
Yeah, I mentioned that off the top, that with there is quite a good wind going the back of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers right now. They want to pick up points with the wind while they can. But Zach Collaros feeling a little bit of pressure himself in that front 7 of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
The Bombers had the worst field goal kicking percentage in the CFL by far this year. 62.2%, but they went out and traded with BC to get Sergio Castillo, an All-Star in 2019, to settle things down from just inside the 40. And with that breeze behind him, no problem at all, like a chip shot for Castillo. So we have the first points on the board in Grey Cup 108. 3-0 Winnipeg here in Hamilton. The Ticats don't just have two number 1 QBs, they have two QBs who support each other. Let's go down to field level and Matthew Shinetti.
No doubt about it, Rod. Maybe the most important moment for Hamilton season already happened at a downtown hotel while the team was quarantining and doing COVID testing one day before the season started. Jeremiah Masoli pulled Dave Evans aside and said, it's going to take all of us. The entire bench, the entire Ticats locker room noticed that. It's been a significant moment about selflessness. And just before the game, I asked Dane Evans, who spoke to you? He said, Jeremiah Masoli, and he told me tonight, go have fun, Dane. Rod.
Matthew, it's inspiring that as disappointed as Mazzoli is, he didn't sulk last week after he was pulled and Evans came in.
And Coach Steinauer told us about the meeting that he had with both quarterbacks after training camp and how Jeremiah Masoli, who got the nod then, humbly accepted it.
That's Tim White on the sweep, and he gets hit hard by the Winnipeg safety Brandon Alexander right at the Hamilton 45.
And jumped right up. I mentioned that Brandon Alexander will play downhill now. He's going to play top down from the coverage in the back end about 12 yards deep, and he's going to lower the boom if you got that ball in your hands. There's 37 with that first big hit of the night. And Tim White jumps right back up. He'll pay the price in this championship to move the chains.
He did indeed. He picked up 11 yards, hanging onto the ball on a first down. Ticats, this time the sweep to Brandon Banks. Gets that corner. Now they have him cut off and pushed out of bounds for little to no gain.
Fly sweep, wide play to try and freeze the defensive ends in Jefferson and Jeffcoat. Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator, is going to have to try and figure out a way to, you can't stop them. You can't completely stop Jeffcoat and Jefferson, but maybe you can control them. Little tight end, screen drop, get those fly sweeps where you press the corners and get those defensive ends checking down before they get after the quarterback.
No gain. 2nd and 10. Hamilton 46. Evans takes off. No, he dumps it off, and a flag is out. Completes that one to Jalen Acklin, who had 8 catches. A big day last week in the Eastern Final, but that flag is back in the Ticat backfield.
Holding. Hamilton number 64. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
The right guard, the rookie Coulter Woodmansey, is called for the hold.
Woodmansey working on Steven Richardson at that D tackle spot.
So a 2nd and 20 with that 10-yard penalty. Ticats against the wind in this first quarter, down by 3. Evans needs a lot. Under pressure, taken down. The stove, Steven Richardson, a real load to deal with inside, up front for Winnipeg, and he has the sack. And the Ticats will have to kick it away.
Yeah, one of the finalists for outstanding lineman was Revenberg, number 67, and the Stove is going to go one-on-one with him. An inside pass rush where he's just going to rip with that right arm up the middle and get in the face of Dane Evans and then continue to work at it until he got there. Willie Jefferson on the rotation, getting a break in that series. Love to see his teammates get home.
Why the Stove, you ask? 5'11", 304 pounds? Steven Richardson, big play defensively, Winnipeg. Janarian Grant will be back to take this one from Joel Whitford. Another good punt against this breeze by Whitford. 47 yards. Good special teams coverage, too, as Mike Daly is down there to escort Grant out of bounds. Dane Evans, he felt a lot of pressure 2 years ago. He's feeling a lot of it again tonight against the Blue Bombers. Winnipeg leads by 3. In August, the same 2 teams meeting tonight and met 2 years ago. And Andrew Harris returned in week 4, picked up from where he left off. The Bombers rolled along. They won 9 straight to clinch a spot in the West Final for the first time since 1972, hosting it, and 15 members of that team named Western All-Stars. Andrew Harris came back again last week in the Western Final, and he ran for 136 yards in their victory over Saskatchewan.
Just a couple of touches for Andrew Harris so far tonight. 6 yards rushing on 2 carries.
And they're back at their 37 to start this one. Harris again. He picks up a few yards, but they are tough yards. I mentioned last week in the West Final at IG Field. He was a game-time decision, and he certainly helped with this decision as he ran a lot, Suits.
Yeah, and it starts up front. It starts with that offensive line up front and how well they've blocked for Andrew Harris or whomever has run from that tailback spot. But a monster game for Harris. You felt the energy when he hit the field. The crowd erupted. They had their star tailback back in the lineup.
Has 10 yards, but that's enough to move him into second place all time among Canadian running backs. And yards gained in the Grey Cup. It's Darvin Adams. nice moves after the catch. Finally taken down at midfield, and a first down Winnipeg after a gain of 13.
Now this is star-studded receiving core, and they've got different types of receivers, including the veteran Darvin Adams, who due to injury has had sort of an up and down year, but is certainly capable of a monster game.
And flags coming down on that play. Kenny Lawler again.
There's their number one star and target throughout the season. We mentioned the 1,000 yards. Rasheed Bailey is the workhorse of the group.
Illegal block, hands to the face. Winnipeg number 66, 10-yard penalty. Will replay first down.
That penalty against Stanley Bryant, the top offensive lineman in the CFL, was awarded on Friday night for the third time in 4 years. There he is.
Yeah, he was going against Julian Hauser off the edge, number 95. And does he get, right up in the face mask with the left hand. The correct call. Down over though, so first down again.
But a first down at 20 just inside the Winnipeg 45. Harris right side, cuts back and picks up about 5 yards. Call it 6 for Harris and a few extracurriculars afterwards. But I mentioned the all-time Canadian rushers in the history of the Grey Cup, the legendary Normie Kwong leading the way, but Harris was behind Jerry James, very close behind coming into this game. And this is Harris's third Grey Cup. Normie Kwong played in 7, and James played in 6.
But you know who else knows about those numbers and about the West Final for Andrew Harris? The Hamilton Tiger Cat defense. Number 1 against the run this year.
And they've done a good job against him so far. 2nd and 14, dumping it off. Good pressure again by the Ticats. Mark Washington's defense. And Winnipeg will be forced to punt it away.
And you know they're going to be geared up to try and control the run game and Andrew Harris. And it's a chess match for the coaches to take away the strength and see if a team can beat you somewhere else.
Getting late in the first quarter here at Grey Cup 108. Hamilton has been going against the wind, and that one rolls into the end zone. That punt by Mark Leggio. David Ungerer just takes it and takes a knee to put another point on the board for the Bombers. Don't miss the 2022 World Juniors beginning Boxing Day from Edmonton and Red Deer as Team Canada looks to reclaim gold on home ice. Catch every game all tournament long only on TSN. The future of hockey lives here. So a 4-point lead for Winnipeg now after that punt single by Mark Leggio. Had the breeze at his back, 2:31 on the clock, and Hamilton looking to survive the quarter and then get the breeze at their back. They've done all right when you consider it, giving up the field goal after that turnover, the interception by Alden Darby.
I think both teams right now are just sort of dancing around, two heavyweights dancing around the ring right now.
That feeling out process. Dane Evans, the 35, knocked down again. That's Casey Sayles to get his hands on it.
Well, that's rule number 1 for defensive line, is if you don't get there and you can't get to the quarterback, then basically just get in a passing lane and get your hands up. So now the next step for the Hamilton O-line is to just as soon as they put their hands up, give them that shot right in the chest plates, and that'll bring their hands down.
So with the Sayles knockdown, it is a 2nd and 10. Jackson. Kyrie Wilson was just on him right away to take him down, and more good defense by the top defense in the CFL.
Well, Kyrie Wilson's going to scrape quickly to this screen, and the screen pass is one way to slow the pressure of the D-line in your face and in the face of the quarterback to throw that screen in behind the D-line. The problem with doing it against the Bomber defense is their linebacking core, led by Adam Bighill, but Kyrie Wilson is basically that underrated star in the the Bomber defense.
The third 2 and out for the Ticats. Whitford standing at his 20. But a minute left until quarter time. And this time it's off the side of his foot. Terrible punt for the Ticats. Picked up on the hop and a no yards as well. A 9-yard kick. Nick Hallett picking it up and drawing the 5-yard no yards penalty. Great field position here for Winnipeg.
Yeah, it looked like it was clean snap right where he wants it. Got the lace out of there. Did the lace roll around and become part of the issue here, because that just went off the side of his foot?
4 yards. Hamilton number 26. A 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run, and a first down Winnipeg.
Whitford had been punting well in this quarter.
Yeah, that's a bad shank though that gives Zach Collaros tremendous field position on the 30 going in. With the wind at their back, a chance to take a couple shots at the end zone.
They got about this far before setting up a field goal to sweep the Dembski. Trying to cut it outside, and a good play by the corner, Deontay Evans. And the biggest story has been the Blue Bomber defense. Look at that, Suits. Net yards, just 7 for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, and the average drive start down at the bottom of the stats is a big indication of that first quarter and what's gone on, because the Bombers, they're playing on a tilted field right now because of the field position, but the Hamilton defense is hanging in there. Just 4 points scored.
All things considered, it's a pretty strong breeze that the Ticats were going up against, and so they'll turn things around now, and we'll see what Winnipeg can do offensively. They're in good shape right now against the wind, but they're down inside, right at the 20-yard line of Hamilton.
Well, that was outstanding blitz pickup by Zach Collaros to throw it around the pressure. That was a free blitzer for Hamilton. He recognized it, got the ball out of his hands.
So here we go, first down to start the second quarter. Back to Andrew Harris. And once again, yards at a premium. Javon Santos-Knox coming in, among other Ticats, to limit the damage from Andrew Harris.
Well, if teams throughout the regular season have got to jump on the run game for the Bombers will stick with it. This will talk a lot of teams out of it. He's to the right of Collaros on this straight run pass option, or RPO as we call them. Buck Pierce, the offensive coordinator for the Bombers, will stick with the run when he's got a star tailback like Harris in the backfield.
Gain of 3 yards, second and 7 to the Ticats 17. Up by 4. Collaros. More pressure's coming. Down goes Collaros. Dylan Wynn. Jagarrett Davis. Ticats defense standing up.
Eastern All-Star Jagarrett Davis has been on a tear in the playoffs. In the semi against Montreal, I thought he was unblockable. In the final against Toronto, again, in the backfield. Jagarrett Davis has been unstoppable through the playoffs in 21.
Mark Washington loved that. What a playoff Jagarrett Davis has been having, wreaking havoc on the Alouettes. What he did last week in the Eastern Final. Field goal try coming up now for Castillo to make it a 7-point lead. And Castillo is 2 for 2. So the Ticats defense limits the damage, but the Blue Bombers now up by a touchdown. The city of Hamilton lost some key sports figures over the past year. Just over a month ago, the legendary Angelo Mosca, great Ticat and ambassador for the game of football in this city, passed away of Alzheimer's at the age of 84. And David Braley, Might forget that not only an owner of the BC Lions and Toronto Argonauts, he owned the Tiger Cats, helped that team, and a great ambassador for this city as well and the community. He passed away in 2020 and a member of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Big Ange inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame in '87. Mr. Braley in 2012. Both so passionate about Canadian football. And I'll miss my discussions with Mr. Mosca, as I called him every time he came into the booth. Whenever we did a game here in Hamilton, Angelo Mosca would come in and he would ask, how can I help? How can I help sell the league? He'll be missed.
And he did it in a way you were afraid. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
He had that effect. I mean, that the Ticats revered him, this current crowd, when he'd come and talk to them, like Simone Lawrence would say. David Unger on the return after the second field goal by Sergio Castillo, increasing Winnipeg's lead to 7-0. So now Dane Evans comes out, and for the first time in this game, that Hamilton Tiger Cat offense will have the wind at their backs.
Young in his football journey at the pro level for sure for Dane Evans. 11-4 as a starter and 2-1 in 3 games started this year. Just 3 of 7 in the first quarter, but now has the wind at his back.
We'll see what they can do with it. Starting here at the 30. Evans taking the handoff to Don Jackson. Looking over the middle, and he completes it to Jalen Ackland. Favored target last week in Toronto. Ackland had 8 catches. He had a gain of 13 there. He also had a touchdown last week to help the Ticats move on.
Yeah, number 1 for the Ticats in targets. Number 1 in those money catches. Those second down catches to move the chains.
Tim White, the ball carrier, and picks up a couple of yards on first down for the Ticats.
That was a good confident throw there to Jalen Ackland and could kickstart this offense, get a little traction, the Ticat offense. Again, you think about the lopsided field in the first quarter. The Bombers' favor and Hamilton defense kept it to just a 7-point game, a 1-possession game after quarter 1.
Second and 6.
Look out.
And DeAndre Alford was coming just above him for Brandon Banks, and out of bounds it goes.
Well, Alford read the mail there. He read the mail, Rod. He saw this develop, and he was ready to jump this out. And I think Dane Evans may have seen him right in the last second and floated this high so that only Brandon Banks catches it or it goes out of bounds incomplete, because he saw Alford cutting underneath that one.
Too high for Banks as well. So much better punt here for Whitford, chasing Grant inside the 10. A 55-yard punt. Grant gets it out to the 20. Catch us live at the half. The Arkells, Hamilton's own, performing here at halftime. And Kate and Chez and Maddie and Milt here from James and Bo Levi Mitchell, our guest panelists, and the coach Jim Barker as well. Lots to talk about and break down at halftime.
I haven't got Bo to sing a song yet as the rookie of the crew, but
we'll do that.
We'll work on that later
on tonight. Give Bo some time to think that over.
He's doing a great job.
Yes, he is. Love to be out there, I'm sure, but good to have him with us. Zach Collaros completes it over the middle. Kenny Lawler, his second catch of this game, and that's a big first down for Winnipeg.
Watch the small details that Kenny Lawler takes care of here. If you're a young receiver watching this championship game, take note at how he comes back, works back to his quarterback in behind coverage. In front of Cam Kelly, he comes back and helps Zach Collaros make sure he completes this ball. Look at him come back one step. Beat the defender to it.
He had a ridiculous catch in the Western Final last week, going backwards and twisting. And that was during a drive for a touchdown as they finally took the lead in that game. Lawler, their top receiver. Andrew Harris was their leading receiver in 2019, but really busted out in 2021. The only one, Suits, in the CFL to go over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, just 14 games, and he got there. I mean, led the team in yards, led the team in big plays, the 30-plus plays down the field, in second down catches, and had a season high over 200 yards against the BC Lions when the Bombers wrapped up first in the division a month before the end of the regular season.
That was a remarkable game for him. 12 catches for 205. Kenny Lawler, 2nd and 9 now after just one more yard for Andrew Harris. Colares completes another one. Julian Hauser is back in coverage on Nick Dembski.
Outstanding show blitz look here from Mark Washington's group and the Ticat defense. They're going to show blitz. Basically get their linebackers up here like they're going to blitz. And they're going to say, we're coming. And what do? When the snap of the ball, they drop out of there. Just to hope that Zach Colares will freeze for a second. See that pump fake? He froze the ball for just a second. Now he gets it out there and he completes it, but he has to check it down to Dembski. Short of the first down. Nice show blitz look from Mark Washington.
And a new punt returner back. First we had Poppy White, then David Unger. Now Tunde Adeleke is back to receive this punt from Mark Leggio. As the Ticat defense holds.
Adeleke can run now. Fastest 40 time in the combine back in 2017.
Product of Carleton University, low driving punt against that wind of 40 yards. Adeleke cuts it back up, but nowhere to go. Among the pack, the all-time special teams tackles leader, Mike Miller. Number 24 is involved there as well. So back comes Dane Evans. The big start, his second start in a Grey Cup. His Ticats trailing by 7 at home in Grey Cup 108. Quarter, the Hamilton Tiger Cats offense has only generated 24 yards. Winnipeg's defense has been that good. This is the second possession for Dane Evans and the Ticats with the breeze at their back. Handing off. Best carry by far, Don Jackson. And a big offensive play for the Ticats. First down, close to midfield.
Another way to combat against a great pass rush is to run the ball right at them. And many, including our panel, have said the key for Hamilton offensively to try and control the front 7 for the Bombers is to run the ball with Don Jackson. He runs hard, he'll get after it. That's a 21-yard gain for number 5.
First and 10, up near midfield. Jackson again, and this time not much doing, gets a yard or two for Jackson, who caught a pass from Bo Levi Mitchell 3 years ago in the Grey Cup for Calgary against Ottawa. Good impact late this season when he was finally able to play.
Yeah, you take a look at that bottom number at 6.1 yards per touch. You get that on first down, it opens up the playbook for Dane Evans. But it also allows the offensive line to go and fire off the ball and hit someone rather than be hit.
So after the 21-yard carry, just 2 that time for Jackson and a 2nd and 8 for Evans. To pass. Gets away from Jeffco. Gets away from Jefferson. Can't get away from them all. The flag comes down as he just gets across midfield.
It's going to be a high shot on the quarterback.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Winnipeg number 5, 15-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage, and a first down. Point ball dead.
Wasn't intentional, I don't believe, from Willie Jefferson. He tried to jump and block it, but you can see that right arm and hand hits Dane Evans right in the side of the head and follows through to turn it. Any shot above the neck is going to be called, or below the knees on the quarterback, and that's the penalty.
And he was still able to carry on for a moment, but you can see where he is holding and where the injury was after what Jefferson did.
I wonder if he took another shot after he went down, but Saw Jeremiah Masoli immediately warm up and get loose on the Hamilton sideline.
Dane Evans, the Tiger Cats starting quarterback, is still down with an injury that is apparently in the neck area. We'll take a break and be back here.
Or dial it down so you can mix and remix till it's just right. New Campbell's Concentrated Broth. Find your perfect flavor.
Ticats quarterback Dane Evans finally on his feet and off the field. As we look at it again, maybe it wasn't what Willie Jefferson did to Evans.
Yeah, Evans took off running. He looked okay after Jefferson got him high, but Jackson Jeffcoat just at the bottom of this tackle. Watch as he comes down and gets that left hand on the face mask and twists his neck. It looks like that's when Evans went down.
So it is Jeremiah Masoli in the game at quarterback now for Hamilton. First down after the penalty. Masoli fakes, he keeps it, and he picks up a few yards down near the 35 of Winnipeg.
Well, you heard Matthew Shinetti talk about these two quarterbacks and how early in the season, coming out of training camp, they said it's going to take both of us. And the entire team rallied around that, and right now Jeremiah Masoli gets his opportunity. We hope that Dane Evans will be okay and be able to return and get checked out in the locker room.
A gain of 5 for Masoli. Second and 5, the Winnipeg 35. With pressure coming, he gets it away to Stephen Dunbar. Dunbar with his first catch in the Grey Cup. And it will be close to a first down, very close indeed.
A-gap blitz here. That's between the center and the guard for the Defensive Player of the Year, Adam Bighill, who gets caught and just holds on to that rush for a split second, giving Masoli just enough time to get it out of there, and they're close enough that inside a yard they're going to go on third down.
Down 7 with the win. Third down. About 6 inches to go for Masoli. Keeps it left side. First down and a whole lot more for Jeremiah Masoli as he gets it inside the Winnipeg 25 down to about the 23.
Yeah, he only ran 28 times this year. I mean, this is short yardage, so obviously the quarterback's going to run here, but running the football was part of Jeremiah Masoli's game. I mean, he will take off. We saw the first down when he came out. He ran that quarterback run. That's a design play for Jeremiah Masoli to run the ball. Just 28 carries in the regular season, but when he did run, they often won.
He was the starting quarterback last week in the Eastern Final, went 4 for 6 for 22 yards and was pulled. He completes that pass. Tim White still outside the 20 and wrestled down for next to no gain.
Not to mention Masoli very comfortable throwing on the run. So to try and avoid the pass rush, to try and get outside of Jeffcoat and Jefferson, Tommy Condell can call plays to get Jeremiah Masoli on the roll, throwing on the run outside of that launch spot in the pocket.
Gain of 1, second and 9. An opportunity striking here for Masoli and the Ticats with early movement as Jackson Jeffcoat comes across and the flags come out.
Good idea for Hamilton quarterbacks to, well, for both quarterbacks, basically, to stagger their
Offside.
count.
Winnipeg number 94. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Basically stagger the snap count so that you can get that D-line who is just almost, in some cases, that's not the guy who's offside. It was Jackson Jeffcoat, but look at the sprinter stance. They're so keyed up to get after Jeremiah Masoli. You go that staggered count. Go on 2 a couple of times. Give it those second, hut, 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 and try and draw them offside. Got a couple of times now. Early movement up front.
Moves them up 5 yards, second and 4, Winnipeg 17. Don Jackson. He has those 4. Enough for a first down.
So his forward progress got him there. And that's been one adjustment already in this game by Tommy Condell, is to go with the run and get Don Jackson involved.
the 12 of Winnipeg. The Ticats, far and away, the deepest they've gone into Winnipeg territory. 9th play of the drive coming up with 2 quarterbacks. Dane Evans started it. He's hurt. Jeremiah Masoli is in. Faking the handoff. Looking to his right. Completing to Jackson down near the 5. And a big second down play for the Ticats is coming up.
Nikola Kalinic is going to come in at the tight end spot, and he's going to help out on Jackson Jeffcoat. This is the key to this play. Don Jackson's going to come out of the backfield and flare to the flat. That's the wide side of the field, just out near the boundary. He's allowed to do that because the tight end slash fullback takes away Jackson Jeffcoat off the end.
The benefit of having an experienced second quarterback for Hamilton, Masoli. It's not at the line of scrimmage again that Bomber D is so good at doing it, and that time coming up is Alden Darby. To set up a 3rd down. Hamilton still with no points on the boot. The half. The Arkells. Hamilton zone. Kate Burness. TSN zone. CFL panel. We'll have thoughts on that first half along with James Duthie and Bo Levi Mitchell. Jim Barker as well. A half that's been Winnipeg so far at 7-0, but Michael Domagala is out on 3rd down to put some points on the board for the Ticats.
You got to believe Rolanda Steinauer was tempted to go for it.
From 12 yards, up and through Domagala. And the Ticats now just down 4.
My playing days may be over, but doesn't mean I'm retired. Now I watch sports full time, because in retirement, there are no off days. Every game starts at bet99.net.
I just think you got the wind at your back. You're on the 5-yard line, 3rd down and goal, and you're the underdogs. And, you know, against a #1 defense in the league, boy, it must have been tempting for him to think about going for it on 3rd down. I like the decision. Take the points. It's in the first half still. Take the points and the momentum.
My counter to that would be Winnipeg is going against the wind, and Hamilton's defense hasn't been that bad either. They've made some
very
stuff,
good.
So
very good.
So with that, take your points. Interesting decision though. You're right. They were close. Andrew Harris. And he works his way up to the 40, but as said, for the most part, compared to a week ago when he had 136, he had a lot of those yards in the first half. To 25 yards for Harris. It's a Tiger Cat defense that did a great job in their meetings with William Stanback, all 3 against the Alouettes.
He's been the catalyst. He's been the leader, and there is your leader. Hamilton Tiger Cat defense, Simone Lawrence.
Partisan crowd here wants a stop on 2nd down. 2nd and 5. Winnipeg 40. Blitz coming. Gets it away. It's incomplete.
Boy, that was a fast break by the Ticat defense. Get after it. Dylan Wynn in the middle took off Simone Lawrence. It was fast break time to get after Zach Collaros, and he had to retreat. They were coming. Didn't disguise it. No show blitz this time. It was full out get after number 8. He has to retreat and throw around the rush. He brings Nick Dembski back, and because of that, they'll be short.
It was the former Bomber, Javon Santos-Knox, the middle linebacker, getting close to Collaros as he throws that one, and it's incomplete, and they have to punt, and Poppy White is back for the return for Hamilton from Legia. Short punt against that wind. White waits, picks it up after a punt of only 24 against that breeze up near the Hamilton 50.
Yeah, as that wind picked up, because that punt looked like it stopped in midair. The back of the Ticats right now with 1:45 before halftime. They've got a chance to maybe take a couple of deep shots with the wind at their back.
And as bad as the wind looks now, we were here yesterday where the gusts were up to 90 kilometers an hour. I can't imagine the game being played the way it was yesterday. It's like a calm day today.
Hey, the weather for December 12th, I'll take it.
Absolutely. +4 at kickoff. Not bad at all. Jeremiah Masoli still at quarterback. And that one off to the wide side falls incomplete.
Just amazing. Adam Big Hill's range and just his versatility. Outstanding defensive player of the 21 campaign, who will stop the run, who will go on blitzes, and oh, by the way, if you need him to get way down the field and cover Brandon Banks, he can get under that throw too.
Friday night, he was named the most outstanding defensive player for the third time in his career. Exclusive club. Only 4 others have won it that many times. Big Hill also won it with Winnipeg in 2018. Willie Jefferson won that honor 2 years ago in 19. 2nd and 10. Hamilton 49. Masoli with time gets it away to Jackson. Completes it, but shy of midfield and well shy of a first down, as the punting team will come on again.
Yeah, you can't take a chance here given Zach Collaros' short field to go ahead and try and put points on the board. So Coach Steinauer's got to kick this away. Well, they wanted to get over the top there. Coverage was too good.
Joel Whitford and wanted to hem them deep, but instead it's out at around the 20-yard line. There are flags down on the other side of the field from where the punt went.
While the ball was in the air, holding Winnipeg number 3. 10-yard penalty will be enforced from where the ball went out of bounds, and a first down for Winnipeg.
That was one of the Bombers' global players, Teodric Hansen, who got flagged for that. But yeah, what a week for Winnipeg. What a year. And they did very well, Suits, in the
Yeah.
Friday night honors.
Coach of the year, Michael O'Shea, Stanley Bryant, we mentioned off the top. Of course, Adam Big Hill and Zach Collaros, the MOP. Congratulations also to William Stanback, Simone Lawrence, David Menard, Brandon Revenberg, who went up against Bryant, and Coach Ryan Dinwiddie as well. Finalists.
Andrew Harris breaks a little bit more on that first down play. Picks up 5 more yards.
Well, different type of game here tonight for Andrew Harris. He's got now 30 yards, and it's been clearly Hamilton has geared up to try and limit his production after watching him run for 136 in the final, but doing a pretty good job so far at just 30 yards and a half of football, the Hamilton defense.
To 2nd and 5. Late in this first half of breakup 108. Just a minute to go. 7-3 game. The draw to Harris. Needs the 5. He's pushed right back by Simone Lawrence.
Yeah, you know, one of the there's Simone Lawrence stepping up, but one of the progressions here for the Winnipeg offense is to now go when it's tough slugging up in the line of scrimmage, and that's unbelievable. Defensive shed by the linebacker, just shed the block from Rasheed Bailey and then step up and make the tackle. But the progression for Andrew Harris is to get him in the passing game. One of the best backs, I would say, in the last 5 to 10 years, coming out of the backfield, catching the ball down the field.
He has 5 tackles tonight, Simone Lawrence. He's Hamilton's all-time leading tackler. Passed Rob Hitchcock earlier this season for that distinction, and that was a big tackle on Andrew Harris. Mark Legia just outside his 5 against the breeze to punt it away for Poppy White. After a 32-yarder, and he keeps his feet for a while with Tanner Cadwallader taking him down, but inside the Winnipeg 50. Don't miss new episodes of the Emmy-winning series critics call one of the best shows in HBO history, Succession, now streaming only on Crave.
Oh, I am into it, man. I am binging that baby. Oh, yeah. I am right into that series. You know, 1 first down is makeable field goal range here for Hamilton.
From the Winnipeg 48, Jeremiah Masoli throwing it back to Jackson. Has some blocking. 6.
Yeah, backside screen here. Jeremiah Masoli's going to roll this way, and then Don Jackson sneaks out the back door. He gets out there and influence. Willie Jefferson is going after Masoli, trying to contain him. He throws it behind Jefferson to Jackson, and now he is not only in the second level, he's back in the secondary and out of bounds. Time for a couple of plays and a couple of shots to the end zone.
Jeremiah Masoli off the bench, 5 for 7, 53 yards. Ticats on the move from the Winnipeg 12. Masoli looks into the end zone. Touchdown, Ticats. Stephen Dunbar. And the home side has the lead in Grey Cup 108.
You can turn around and get possessions quickly in Canadian football. The Hamilton Tiger Cats get it back. They get it to Don Jackson, and Jeremiah Masoli with a confident throw. He knifes it in there to Stephen Dunbar for the major.
What a turn of events for the Cats. For Jeremiah Masoli, too. The unfortunate injury to Dane Evans, but Masoli embracing this opportunity to play in the Grey Cup. A touchdown drive that evolved very quickly. And up and through for the point after by Michael Domagala. Stephen Dunbar from the University of Houston. Rookie in the CFL.
Let's bring this thing home. Let's go.
And a Grey Cup touchdown from Jeremiah Masoli.
Working one-on-one, Stephen Dunbar with Winston Rose. And Winston Rose, watch him in this route. He's going to end up being right about here on Winston Rose, but it's the stagger step at the top of the route. Little inside stem, and then stagger steps and come right back, and a nice throw from Jeremiah Masoli. Rose just a step too late trying to break on it. I think Winston Rose thought he had inside help from Nichols. But Nichols got caught too close to the line of scrimmage. Masoli saw it, took advantage. Great throw, sliding to his left, back across the middle.
There have been 17 points scored in Grey Cup 108, all of them at the north end. All of them with the win. For the Ticats in the second quarter. Big tackle, special teams tackles leader Nick Cross. Taking down Janarian Brent.
Just have a jump in your step if you're the Ticat defense hopping off for this last 10 seconds of the first half. But, you know, if you're a Bomber fan right now, you're going into halftime saying, hey, West Final, no problem. We had turned it over 4 times in the first half of the West Final, and we're down by 3. Not anything to worry about with this football team just yet. If you're Hamilton, though, you're taking advantage of this momentum.
And I will correct myself, Suits. They did have the short field goal just to start the second quarter. Winnipeg did. After getting close with the wind, they did get those 3 against it. My mistake, but it does have that feeling. Everything going from right to left for these offenses. And Hamilton with that field goal lead. And time running out here until halftime. Zach Collaros takes the knee. And like a week ago against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Winnipeg trails at halftime. The biggest story at quarterback for the Ticats. Jeremiah Masoli in and engineering the 1 touchdown drive of this game. Let's go down to Sarah Orleski with Willie Jefferson.
Thank you, Rod. Willie, just like in the Western Final, down 10-7 at the half. Different feel to this game, though. What's going to be the key in the third and fourth quarters?
Coming out, being aggressive, doing what we have to do on offense, defense, special teams, and just playing Winnipeg football.
Thanks so much, Willie.
Ready.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Stephen, how did you see your defense keep your team in it, and what is your offense going to have to do to build on that touchdown?
Our defense playing hard. Our defense playing really hard. They're playing really good, keeping them out the end zone. And our offense, we just got to catch a rhythm. And I think we're gonna be all right, man. I think we're gonna be all right.
Thanks, Stephen.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Sarah and Matthew. James Duthie back with you. What a halftime ahead. The Arkells, the Lumineers, the Cape Burnett. Your halftime stats lean heavily towards the D. Look at Winnipeg, only 4 first down, 62 passing yards. And Bo, there's something on here that is not on here that you feel is huge.
I think everybody dogged Chris Van Zyl on this Hamilton O-line for the 2019 Grey Cup. And right now, Jefferson and Jeffcoat have 0 sacks, and I think that's the key to this game.
Rod Smith and the second half of the 108th Grey Cup.
Thank you, James. Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, and a late development for the Ticats in that first half, Glenn Suter, with the change at quarterback and leading to a touchdown drive led by Jeremiah Masoli.
Well, the Ticats said, and Coach Steinauer said, that it is going to take both Dane Evans and Jeremiah Masoli to finish the season and win a championship. We'll see if they can get it done in the second half. But yeah, Jeremiah Masoli has taken over. We haven't seen Dane Evans return yet.
Matthew Shinetti talked about that in the first half, the relationship between the two. Now, Winnipeg had won the toss and deferred, remember, so Hamilton will get the ball and the wind in the third quarter with David Ungerer and Sean Thomas Erlington back to take this kick from Sergio Castillo, and a short kick it is. Now caught up in that wind. Yes, live ball. Ungerer has it, and he has it around the Hamilton 40. So let's get some injury updates now from Matthew.
Well, here we are on the Ticat sideline, guys, and Dane Evans is being evaluated. They're not ruling him out. They are still evaluating. From what I hear, Pappy White is out, and we don't know who the emergency quarterback would be for the Hamilton Tiger-Cats if something were to happen to Jeremiah Masoli before we get some determination on Dane Evans. A lot of questions still, guys.
And with this third quarter, Matthew, I guess suits the Ticats the way this wind has been going. Time to make hay, right?
Yeah, well, the Bombers had the choice. They could have taken the ball in the second half. They elected to defer to the fourth quarter, so they will have the wind in the long quarter.
At the Hamilton 41, first and 10, second half of Grey Cup 108 underway. The offensive star for the Ticats with the football there. Good first half for Don Jackson. He is the only touchdown in this game, and a short carry picks up a few.
Yeah, the good news for Ticats fans is that Jeremiah Masoli, in relief of Dane Evans, has played very well. Stepping in with a touchdown throw to end the first half to Stephen Dunbar. But I think the momentum switched when Simone Lawrence made a hit on defense.
6 for 8, 65 yards, and that touchdown pass. Mazzoli's on the run. And not enough for the first down either. Bombers defense doing a good job on that first possession of the second half for the Hamilton Tiger-Cats, and the punting unit comes on.
Yeah, it looked like a broken play between he and Don Jackson. Just to the left of your screen, number 5, we'll see Mazzoli take it and not ready to run the RPO or the run play option quick enough. Got what he could.
Joel Whitford's punt, and sailing out of bounds around the 27, and a flag comes out. If it is outside the 20 and goes a 35-yard punt for Whitford with the breeze.
Well, the Bomber offense all season long has gone through their run game. And with that run game,
legal punt out of bounds. Hamilton number 32. 10-yard penalty enforced from where the ball went out of bounds. First down, Winnipeg.
That run game off to a slower start than they're used to, with Andrew Harris just 9 carries for 32 yards. One of the reasons that Bombers only had 4 first downs in the first half. So now Buck Pierce, what's his adjustments for the second half against this Hamilton defense?
Up at the Winnipeg 37. And a first down. Faking to Harris. Pressure's coming. Dumps it off to Kenny Lawler. Simone Lawrence. Javon Santos-Knox in on the tackle.
I'll tell you what, you know you're in a groove when you're walking to the line of scrimmage for a play like Jared Davis did on that last play. Watch him. This is just before the snap. He broke the huddle. He walks out. He's dancing. He's dancing. He's feeling good. He's in his stance. Let's go. Let's play ball.
Working up against Jamarcus Hardrick. Second down and 2. Winnipeg starting the second half, trailing by 3. Andrew Harris, first carry of the half, just needed the 2 yards and has enough to move the sticks. A first down, Winnipeg.
Stavros Kasatonis comes up to make that tackle from the safety spot. Andrew Harris getting hit, and he's got a little bit of the worst of it on that one. Forced into the starting safety role. Key there is communication. Make sure that everybody's lined up right. Kasatonis made some big plays in college at UBC, winning a Vanier Cup.
Called upon lately with some key injuries in that Ticat secondary. First and 10. Collaros. Deep ball. And he has his man. It's Rasheed Bailey. Big first down. Going up against the breeze, too, for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Well, here's an adjustment from Buck Pierce. Got to take a shot at the change in the secondary for the Ticats. Go after Tunde Adeleke because he's playing out of position. He is a safety. Now, he's played some reps at halfback, and he's in pretty good position on the coverage. But you should take some shots.
Absolutely, all the way down after a gain of 34 to the 27-yard line. First down. Collaros had time, and he had a receiver in Drew Wolotarski too, but it's off target, and it falls incomplete.
Now, Tunde Adeleke can cover, and and I'm not talking about Canadian-American passports here. He's a player. He's an all-star. But his normal position is free safety. So clearly Buck Pierce goes in at halftime and he says, now Mark Washington's got his safety playing halfback and we didn't test him in the first half. Let's take a couple of deep shots, and they go to Rasheed Bailey to get one down the field and flop the field position on number 2. Now he's gonna rear up and he's gonna respond. Adeleke, just watch the Carleton product come back from that.
Second down. Winnipeg in Hamilton territory. Collaros over the middle, complete to Darvin Adams. It'll be first and goal. Blue Bombers down inside the 10. That's a gain of 21.
Zach Collaros just needed to wait for Simone Lawrence and for his receiver and Darvin Adams to clear past Simone Lawrence, get in behind him in this zone look. Lawrence gets outside, and he's gonna drop into coverage here right at this spot. Now, as Lawrence goes out here, he gets a little bit close to the line of scrimmage because he's trying to jam his receiver. If he gets a little more depth, he can help out underneath in this throw, but he misses the jam and then is stuck too close to the line of scrimmage, and right in behind him, Darvin Adams is there for the catch.
Adams with 3 catches, 45 yards. That one his longest at 21. There's an injured Ticat down on the field. And as Katsantonis coming in with the hit on Adams as we take an injury timeout down on the field.
In the one-on-one with Tunde Adeleke, is he going to test out the safety move to halfback? A nice catch coming back to the football. That was a 34-yarder, and then that led to this throw to Darvin Adams. Right over the middle, sitting down in the hole in front of the safety Casatonis, who's hurt on the play in the right shoulder, and in behind Simone Lawrence.
So Mike Daly, the 7-year vet out of McMaster, comes in at safety for Katsantonis. You saw injured on that play. First and goal. Winnipeg trailing by 3 in business now. At the 6. Dembski. Hits Dembski.
No, sir.
No, sir, indeed. Taken down. A slew of Ticats in on that play.
Just getting upfield and not allowing any bubble to be created for Dembski to run through. They've tried this. There's the fly sweep that goes right across the formation, and then there's this one. This one's designed to hit it up into the A or B gap, which is between center and guard or guard and tackle. And they just shut the door on him right at the line of scrimmage. That's Javon Santos-Knox doing some hard-nosed work at the line.
So now it's second and goal. Back at the Hamilton 11 after that loss. With pressure coming, shuffling it off to Andrew Harris at the 10. Takes a hard hit from Santos-Knox, and that'll force a third and goal for Winnipeg. And the field goal unit for the Bombers comes on.
Now, we mentioned this in the first half that, one of the progressions, if it's hard running the ball to Andrew Harris, is to get him out of the backfield. Now, this was a broken play, and Collaros gets outside and then just sees his tail back, so he'll dump it to him and let him do some heavy lifting. But another big play by Santos-Knox, and he just lowered the boom on that hit.
Sergio Castillo is 2 for 2. Third field goal try to tie the game. From 15 yards away with Sean McGuire holding. And yes, he does. Put it through. 3 more on the board for Winnipeg. Third quarter, we have a 10-10 tie in Grey Cup 1. We want to wish a happy retirement to our longtime end zone cameraman, Bruce Yost of Calgary. Camera 5, at it a long time. This is his final CFL game, final Grey Cup with us, Suits.
Outstanding. 30 years working in the business. Fantastic work, Bruce. And that camera, by the way, is my end zone look. I have a monitor above my telestrator that has that end zone look in it so I can see the line play after every throw and every play. He's been in charge of that for 30 years. So
well done all this time, Bruce Yost. Congratulations, happy retirement, and glad you can stick around for one more big game that's tied here in the third quarter.
Here's what I'm talking about. This is Bruce's angle. This is his camera, and I will many times illustrate exactly what happened up front at the line of scrimmage from that look. So congratulations, Bruce. Enjoyed it, Calgary fan.
Tom Geddes Stampeders jersey there. That was a second and short. And handing off to Don Jackson, they didn't get it, so it's a third and short. Hamilton in their own zone. They're just shy of their own 45. Jeremiah Masoli still in at quarterback as the short yardage team comes in, make sure that they can get a new set of downs.
Masoli's got that great core strength. He's a good hard runner and can take contact. But my advice would be go somewhere that Steven Richardson, the stove, isn't.
Always good advice in short yardage. He goes right.
No,
he doesn't get it.
Didn't get there.
Winston Rose comes in. He stops Mazzoli. Winnipeg's defense stands strong, and the Ticats have turned it over on downs at their own 44.
We say this all the time throughout the regular season, that anytime a quarterback in short yardage decides to go along the line of scrimmage, he is taking the gamble that he's not moving north and south, that he can get caught in the backfield. And Winston Rose from the secondary, playing off the edge, says, I'll just go and play the play. Steps up and makes a great tackle, denying the Hamilton Tiger Cats of the first down. You know, the old linebacker loves that play.
Gonna say, Hall of Fame linebacker Michael O'Shea, head coach And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers sees his defense force a turnover on downs. They're going against the wind, but last time they had the ball, they drove down for a field goal. Here's Andrew Harris, patiently waiting, driving, and getting to the 40 for a pickup of 4.
Well, it's an important point that you just made. They deferred to have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter, the Bombers. Mike O'Shea now sees his team get 3 points on a 5-minute drive, the last series for Zach Collaros. The more time they have the ball with the wind in their face, they're keeping the ball away from Jeremiah Masoli. That's why that third down gamble was so important, a big stop for the Bombers.
The Bomber D twice denied Hamilton on third down gambles 2 years ago in the Grey Cup. They just did a big one here. They have the ball. It's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Kelly. Stepped in front of Nick Dembski. Gets down inside the Winnipeg 30. Hamilton football. And once again, one turnover leads to another. Zach Collaros picked off by Kelly, and a big return too, and suddenly the Ticats are in business.
Going here, and Dembski coming underneath it. Watch Kelly step up in coverage and not buy the rub or the fake by Rasheed Bailey. He's going to come up, number 11 now, step up in there. Now he doesn't go deep. That's film work. That is video study, knowing the route combinations and playing the play on that rub to Nick Dembski. Fooled Zach Collaros.
Here come the Ticats now, and Brandon Banks takes that toss, and he's knocked out of bounds by Alden Darby. But that interception thrown by Collaros was the first in 3 Grey Cup appearances. Played, of course, 2 years ago with Winnipeg and in 2014 with Hamilton. And Cameron Kelly benefits. He had 47 yards on that return after the pick.
Gets his offense on the field with the wind at their back.
And a gain of 7 by Banks. 2nd and 3, Ticats. Tie game, 10-10. Second half, Don Jackson. Got some room, had a hole. Gets through, and more than enough for the first down as he gets close to the Winnipeg 10.
Nice jump cut by Don Jackson in the hole. He didn't play against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers when these two teams played in the very first game of the regular season. So they haven't played against Don Jackson in a Ticat uniform.
Jeremiah Masoli, the handoff quickly to Jalen Acklin. But the Bombers have it red. Adam Bighill leading the charge to limit the gain to about a yard.
No, but one of the changes for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, there's Adam Bighill's going to make the play here, but one of the changes is a lot of this cross motion, trying to get misdirection and try to freeze that front 7. Didn't freeze Adam Bighill. He sniffed that one out.
Takes a lot to freeze Bighill. The outstanding defensive player in the CFL in 2021 for a 3rd time in his career. 2nd and 9, Winnipeg 11. Hamilton ball. Wide open to Banks, trying to get in. Speedy B has another Grey Cup touchdown. His first came back in 2014. This one has given the Ticats the lead again.
Lots of time to throw for Jeremiah Masoli. Bo Levi Mitchell, our analyst, said, where's Jackson Jeffcoat and Willie Jefferson? Now, they got a couple of knockdowns in the first half, but they're not getting the pressure. Lots of time. Look at the double team on Jeffcoat. Willie Jefferson not on the field in that defensive series. It was Jonathan Kongbo in the rotation. And Chris Van Zyl, the 12-year veteran, held his ground on that front side, let Jeremiah Masoli complete that throw.
The point after try by Michael Domagala is perfect. And Hamilton now has a 7-point lead. Jeremiah Masoli, 8 for 10, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns, off the bench for the Ticats. At home, 7 yards for the touchdown, and it all started with that.
Yeah, nice return on the pick as well, and then little pitch out to Brandon Banks, gets things started, inside run with a nice jump cut from Don Jackson, and then this wide field throw to Brandon Banks. He gets the corner and finds the end zone.
Brandon Banks' first catch of this game. It's a big one. It's a touchdown. It's Janarian Grant now for Winnipeg. Across the 25, across the 30, and close to the 40. A good return on that kickoff for Janarian Grant. Let's go down to Sarah Orlesky.
Right, it was a storybook finish to the 2019 season for Zach Collaros, obviously. 2021 has continued that way heading into this game. He has 30 friends and family in attendance here from both north and south of the border. I spoke to his father, Dean, who said, hey, don't forget there are a lot of people watching in Steubenville, Ohio as well. Those were his coaches, his high school coaches that he won 2 state championships back-to-back with. This is in Spot Bar right now. Lots of fans, they've supported Zach Collaros throughout all of the years. They will continue to. I think I might even be able to hear them cheering from here.
Few hours away, Sarah, but wouldn't be surprised Zach wanted to give Spot Bar a nice little shout out there when we talked to him.
Yeah, Mike Haney, his high school coach, he wanted to say hi to, and he said, hey, he keeps hearing his high school coach, Coach Haney, in the back of his mind before every game, even as a pro, saying, be cool, be calm, be collected. There's his wife, Nicole. They live in Ontario. Another one of the great aspects of Canadian football. Half rosters U.S., half Canadians, and a lot of the American players come up, and they end up living here and becoming Canadian citizens.
Gain of 4 in the last play, 2nd and 6 for Collaros. Team trailing again. It's intercepted again. Hamilton ball, Cameron Kelly again.
Oh, baby.
2 big picks for the Ticats. Strong side linebacker, Cameron Kelly.
Old Mo is wearing black and gold right now. To the left of your screen right here, Cam Kelly. We talked about Javon Santos Knox, the leader in Simone Lawrence, but it's always someone you don't expect that's been working hard every day in practice. Doesn't get the headlines, Cam Kelly, but he's made back-to-back huge plays.
Zach Collaros threw 3 interceptions in that turnover fest in Winnipeg in the Western Final. Now he's thrown 2 here against the Ticats to Kelly. Play fake, trying to set up a screen, and that was close to being picked off after getting hit at the line of scrimmage.
I think Jackson Jeffcoat got his hands on it, and that's one thing. If these defensive ends and defensive line for the Bombers are getting knockdowns and not sacks, that's because the O-line is doing their job. Now it just has to get the quarterback in Jeremiah Masoli to throw around those arms from Jackson Jeffcoat, trying to get the screen out to the wide side of the field.
Under 2 minutes to go until 3/4 time. That's how much time the Ticats have left with the win. Flags out. Pressure on Masoli. He's taken down. Big tackle Jake Thomas in on the play there for Winnipeg.
Offside. Hamilton, number 80. That penalty will be declined. They're down.
So they got Jalen Acklin on the offside, and they don't need that penalty. There's lost yardage on that play by Jake Thomas.
Pride of Fredericton, Nova Scotia, or New Brunswick, I should say, and he steps up, and the East Coaster makes a play. The guy that Michael O'Shea, the head coach, wanted to be the first to get the Grey Cup in 2019. And they were presented after the win against Hamilton. It was Jake Thomas.
In his 9th year out of Acadia. The punt from Whitford. With that win down to the 10, the 42-yarder, Janarian Grant has nowhere to go. Good special teams coverage by the Ticats. And Winnipeg starting deep in their own zone. But Zach Collaros has thrown a couple of interceptions. First 2 Grey Cup games, no picks. Tonight, he's thrown 2, and both of them recently here in the 3rd quarter.
Right in.
In a minute 25, he and the Bombers will have the wins at their back for what is looming to be a critical 4th quarter.
Those are forced turnovers, though. That's Cam Kelly making plays from the linebacker core. He wasn't fooled by the rub on the first pick and got a real deep drop on the second. Back-to-back huge plays by Kelly.
At the Winnipeg 13. Collaros faking to Harris, dumping for Demski, and coming in. First it was Evans, Carriel Brooks is there, and a slew of other Ticats. As you see, Stavros Katsantonis is back on the field for Hamilton.
Yeah, in the first Kelly interception, Katsantonis went on the blitz from the safety spot, so he must have had a stinger in that right shoulder. The arm goes numb for a second, you shake it off, and you're back out there.
Timeout. Hamilton, timer, please reset the clock to read 51 seconds. 51 seconds.
3 out of 4 years, a U Sport All-Star.
57 Timer, please reset the game clock to read 57 seconds.
Referee Andre Proulx finally getting that straightened out in terms of how much time is left in this quarter.
I think he said 57 seconds.
I think he did.
Well, we turned the corner.
Fast third quarter, wasn't it?
Well, the fourth quarter has been the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They've owned the fourth quarter on defense, but they're going to need some production out of their offense to take this one.
Second and 12. Collaros moves to his left, gets it away off the fingertips of his intended receiver, Nick Demski.
Moving the launch point a little bit for Collaros and trying to get it to Demski. He's the number 2 receiver to the wide side of the field, number 10 here, and it's just a zone drop by Jamal Roll, who sits on that outside third. He plays the deep seam route and then comes off of that to close quickly on Demski.
So another punt return for the Ticats. It's Tunde Adeleke again. Matthew Sinead telling us that Poppy White, in case you're wondering, has a mid-body injury. Has tried to work it out, but to no avail. So Adeleke back, he is standing because of the wind and where that ball is being kicked inside Bomber territory, and they don't bother taking a chance this late in the quarter. Not into the wind, so Mark Leggio gets instructed to take a knee, give up the safety, and they'll be sending the ball to the Ticats. 32 seconds to go in this third quarter, and Hamilton's lead is now a 2-score game, up to 9 points.
I would suggest that throw from Zach Collaros, had they been able to get around with the wind in the fourth quarter, that's a completed throw to Demski. But because that was another throw into the wind, it hung there for a while and allowed Roll to come down on it from the deep outside third.
And no question giving up the safety, given the fact that even after the punt return, with a little bit of time left in the clock, they might be in position for 3.
Exactly. Into the wind, they were going to be lucky to not give Hamilton the field position without even getting a yard to kick a field goal for 3 points instead of the 2.
So kicking from the 25 after the safety is given up for Sergio Castillo. As David Unger and Sean Thomas Erlington are back, standing inside the Ticat 40. So they get the 2 points. They will get the ball. Half a minute to go with the wind. A 9-point Ticat lead, but the Bombers will have that significant breeze at their backs in the fourth quarter. Unger to take it from his 34. Cuts back up. Good return, Unger to get it across midfield. 24 seconds to go with the wind. And who knows, maybe a chance to get close enough to take a stab at a kick as they are just starting this drive. They obviously want to think bigger than that.
Well, quite the sequence for Coach Steinauer, who calls that timeout, and that was key to get the 2-and-out from his defense. The throw that was knocked down by Roll, and then that return has now allowed Hamilton a chance with the wind at their back to run a couple of plays and maybe kick a long field goal. They were making them from about 60 with the wind in warm-up, both kicking.
And struggling to make them inside the 40 even against the breeze. Mazzoli keeps, and he slides down around the 41.
Great play. That's a great call to go play action and get Mazzoli out on the edge. I'm not sure the Winnipeg defense was going to predict that they would go with this play action run and get Mazzoli out and around the corner. Inside fake to Don Jackson. 12-yard gain and a real smart decision with Dane Evans on the sideline to hook slide for Mazzoli.
He's been quite the story of this Grey Cup here in Hamilton. Gets the first down, barring a penalty. The final play of quarter number 3. On the sweep to Tim White. Another good gain for the Ticats on the ground as White gets it down to the Winnipeg 20. And that's where they will begin the fourth quarter against the wind, but in scoring position. And they have scored. They've enjoyed turnovers, couple of interceptions. They've reached the end zone again, and they have a 9-point lead with 15 minutes to go in Grey Cup 108.
Fragrances by Paco Rabanne.
Through 3 quarters and a couple of key turnovers for Hamilton, the Tiger Cats have a 19-10 lead heading into the fourth quarter, Suits.
Yeah, one of the big stories, of course, Jeremiah Mazzoli taking over for Dane Evans and playing very well in the second and third quarters. And look at the rushing yards for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, just 42. They're containing Andrew Harris.
Here's a big story. Max Kerman, the Arkells, brilliant performance at halftime, and your Ticats are leading. Let's just get that out of the way.
Honestly, I didn't know what the score was when I came up here. And I was like, how are we doing? Everything went by at a flash. It was a surreal experience to be a part of the Grey Cup. It was amazing.
Go ahead.
Listen, great performance at halftime. How did it feel to be out there?
Honestly, you spend about 200 hours working on the show, and then it goes by in what feels like 15 seconds. And getting a chance to collaborate with the Lumineers and K-Flay and the Northern Soul Horns and the Arquettes, it was such a group effort, and I want to give a shout out to everybody involved.
It was a great show, and we talked about this about a month ago. What it means to you, given everything the world's been through, the pandemic, to be able to perform in public again at an event like this.
Oh, here we go.
You want to talk about the game?
Yeah, I want to keep my eyes on the field. Most working musicians haven't had a chance to do their normal job for 2 years, and we're kicking off a tour in February, and this is an amazing way to come back to live music. It's a true honor to be invited.
Yeah, tell us about that tour, the rally, right? Part 2?
Yeah, well, the rally part 2 is happening at Tim Hortons Field. It was supposed to happen in 2020, and now it's happening in 2022, June 25th. But yeah, we're going to Vancouver, we're going to Calgary, we're going to Edmonton in February, and yeah, this is an amazing opportunity just to play music again. Oh, here we go. Oh, let's go! Oh my goodness! That's the play call, right? Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness always works, and the way Jeremiah Mazzoli's got it going, coming off the bench, keeping it there, and another first down for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Why did he get brought in the game? I missed all that. We were getting ready.
Dane Evans got hurt.
Oh, he got hurt?
He did.
How's he doing?
We don't know. I mean, not well enough to get back into this game, and the way things are going for Mazzoli right now.
Right at the middle. There we are.
He's thrown a couple of touchdown passes and
lovely
down near first and goal. You've been a Ticats a while.
Oh yeah, I mean we went to McMaster University. We usually bike to the game. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it looks like Dane's night is done, so it's going to be Jeremiah Mazzoli all the rest of the way.
Down close. Don Jackson driving. He gets inside the 5 on a first and goal for the Ticats, looking to add to that 9-point lead.
So one of the things I love about your band, first of all, great sound. I love the acoustic stuff that you put out. You call it the campfire, right?
Campfire chords. These are songs you sing around the campfire, and that's why we wanted to bring the Lumineers, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, our song Quitting You that we performed tonight was just trying to rip off the Lumineers. We were just trying to steal all their tricks. And then so we texted them, we're like, would you guys want to play the show with us? And they had a few off days, and they flew from Chicago, and here they are.
This is big now. Here we go.
It's a second and goal for Max Kerman's Ticats on the option. The toss to Jackson. And still not in. Adam Bighill coming across. Great defense by the Bombers on that play. It is interesting now, too, Suits. Third down, look how close they are.
Boy, it'd be tough to watch Adam Bighill here fly to this pitch. He held in just long enough to wait for Mazzoli to make his decision. Got the pitch out, and once that happened, he flew to the spot.
Would you go for a touchdown here? They brought the field goal team out.
Take the points.
I think we take the points right now.
Against that Winnipeg defense, Michael Domagala can make it a 12-point lead.
It must have felt great to play. This is your home, homegrown.
Oh yeah, honestly, you have so many friends and family there at the show. Here we go. All right.
Domagala puts it through.
3 more for the good guys. I know I'm supposed to be impartial right now.
I know the last time you were up here with us in Toronto, it wasn't going as well.
No, I had to leave. It was self-imposed. Oh, we're going to break. This is very interesting.
Yeah, you want to
good luck with the tour. Great job at halftime. Great meeting.
We're going to quit this while you're ahead.
Yeah, get me out of here. And
great show again. Max Kerman.
I haven't seen what it looks like. No, it looks pretty good.
It looks very good. It sounded very good.
Look at those moves. Northern Soul Horns, Arquettes.
Back with more at Grey Cup 108. On the clock. A Michael Domagala field goal has made it a 12-point lead. It is Hamilton 22, Winnipeg 10. When the Bombers get the ball, they will have the win, and they have work to do. A shorter kick into that strong wind, taking it up to 30 is Janarian Grant. And Bailey Feltman coming in to make that tackle is Andrew Harris and the Bombers.
Well, it's been tough slugging for Andrew Harris. 12 carries for 43 yards so far tonight. And you think about the 136 he rushed for in the 2019 Grey Cup the last time these two teams met. But now Zach Collaros has the wind at his back. And that passing game becomes a little easier to execute.
We'll see how much the wind is a story from here on in for Winnipeg. He drops the snap. Collaros gets it away, and he completes it to Drew Wolodarski for his first catch of Grey Cup 108.
That's one of the things about Zach Collaros. He's just, whether you're up in the game and leading or behind and chasing, it's the same demeanor from the Bomber quarterback. That one would have rattled a lot of quarterbacks. Hits the ground, you're down in enemy territory in their end, picked it up and completed a pass.
Andrew Harris, right side, has some room. Santos Knox wraps him, but not before he has a good gain of 14 yards and a first down for Winnipeg.
That's what we're used to seeing. That's what we're used to seeing from the Bombers. They're just going to down block, and it looked like Julian Hauser maybe got caught in the wash a little bit coming down into the middle of the line of scrimmage and allowed Andrew Harris to bounce outside. Once he gets his pads going north-south, it's tough to stop him.
Bombers down 2 scores. Under 10 and a half minutes in the fourth quarter. Collaros, first and 10. Oh, laying down and catching it. What a catch by Rasheed Bailey, and another big first down after a gain of 23.
Delaware Valley's all-time leader has to fight back and come up with a real tough catch to keep it off the turf here. Get his hands underneath there, and yes, he does it.
Back to live action now, complete again. As this drive continues, Drew Wolodarski with his second catch, and another first down as they get close to the Hamilton 10.
I called him earlier the workhorse of the receiving corps. Did not miss a game throughout the regular season. A lot of the headlines were in the direction of Kenny Lawler, and deservedly so, but Rasheed Bailey's been there game in, game out, and that's a monster catch, keeping it off the turf.
He had 2 catches for 15 yards, and one that was called back for a touchdown in the Grey Cup 2 years ago, denied that TD. Into the end zone, but no, intended for Adams, and Delacaille was there.
There's the make-up play for Delacaille. Remember, he got caught in the coverage in a one-on-one, and Bailey made a catch in the first half. This time, you know, good players, all-star players are going to bounce back after they get beat once. They're going to come back and make a play on their own. He jumps this route by Darvin Adams, almost has the pick.
Bombers are just 4 for 15 on second down. The ball sits at the Hamilton 12.
What a difference with the wind at his back, though.
Complete difference. Collaros under pressure, flushed out. Jamal Roll covering Kenny Lawler in the end zone.
I'm not sure if it's against Roll or it might be offensive.
Offensive pass interference. Winnipeg number 89. That penalty will be declined. Third down.
Yeah, Kenny Lawler was trying to fight back to the football, but he realized that Jamal Roll is going to get there before him. Roll's underneath this, and he's going to grab the jersey and not let him get back to the football. That's offensive pass interference.
And it sets up a field goal try to get it back. You see Lawler grabbing that jersey of Roll. OPI. A chance from the 20 for Castillo, who stays perfect in the field goals, and they need it. It cuts that Hamilton lead down to 9. Still a 2-score game with 8.5 minutes to go. Quarterback Dane Evans midway through the second quarter. Hit as he goes down. Jackson Jeffcoat there, and Stephen Richardson too. And he is injured on the play. Taken off. Jeremiah Masoli had to come on. The quarterback switch, and you can see Dane Evans, his day is done. It is a Grey Cup to win for Jeremiah Masoli if they can hang on. What a story that would be for the Ticats. However, he is sacked, taken down, and that's after the Bombers had picked up a field goal to cut the lead to 9.
It was a Stove. Boy, he's hard to block. Double team fights right through both Darius Scirocco and Woodmansey. He just ate up those blocks, didn't he?
Great strength, low center of gravity, and a loss by the Ticats. As Masoli is sacked, it's a 2nd and 16. Halfway through this fourth quarter. Over to Jackson. And a great play, and a flag comes out after by Kyrie Wilson to get Jackson to lose his balance.
Holding Hamilton number 64. That penalty's declined. Will be third down.
Woodmansey pulls out on Kyrie Wilson right here, number 19, and he's going to fight off the hold, and then he's going to get to the tackle. Watch, he's getting held, he's getting pulled down by Colter Woodmansey, and fights through that to get to the tackle and bring down Don Jackson.
Great effort there by the weak side linebacker Kyrie Wilson, and the 7th 2-and-out in this Grey Cup for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
And Winnipeg, of course, will decline and get the ball back. Third in the bunch.
With Whitford standing back at the Ticat 15. And another poor punt into the breeze. He had one of these in the first half. Taken off the hop after a punt of 31 and no yards as well. Another 5 yards can be tacked on, as the officials are signaling Winnipeg ball, even though the Ticats are claiming it came out and that it's theirs. Bomber ball. The lead for Hamilton is down to 9, and Winnipeg moved well the last time they had it. We could be in for quite a finish in Grey Cup 108.
You are my best friend, and we've got some things to do.
The best adventures are the ones you share with others. Discover the first ever Santa Cruz and the all-new Tucson.
Ooh, someone's got a party. Hostess gifts that away. Let me guess, Dad? Electronics down there. Last minute shopping? That's what Walmart's here for. Gift cards? Yep. We've got everything you need. Whoa. Even at the last minute.
Welcome to Leo Vegas. Entertainment is hard work. Whoa. Sorry, Leo. See for yourself at leovegas.eu. King of Casino.
Oh, we're getting close to that time, Suits. Isn't that a beautiful sight?
Well, this is Grey Cup 108, and for the majority of those years, This has been the tradition. The RCMP, the Mounties often will take it right through the stands and let the fans see it. Now this is a COVID year, so we've made some adjustments. But I have to fight off being emotional. When I see that cup coming down, backed up by the red colors of the RCMP.
Collaros throwing and completing inside the 30. Winnipeg down 9. Wolotarski having a busier second half now. Picks up his third catch.
Yeah, the wind aided. Fastball to Wolotarski on the outside. And this ball arrives as he comes out of his break. Curl, come back, slide into the middle, 19-yard gain for 82.
First and 10. Hamilton 29. Over 6 minutes to go. Throw is in behind the intended target, Darvin Adams. It'll be second down.
Yeah, that's a communication. Darvin Adams turned out, took about 2 steps, and Zach Collaros thought he was going to just sit right in the hole. He was just going to get to that spot and turn around. And it might only be a yard or 2. And that's why I always tell quarterbacks, aim small, miss small. If you aim for his eye, you only miss by a couple of inches. If you aim for the body, you might miss by a foot or 2.
That cup, by the way, has a home here in Hamilton at the Hall of Fame. But Hamilton hasn't won it in 22 years, going back to 1999, the drought. And Winnipeg, another big play to Nick Dembski, who gets into the end zone. 29 yards, touchdown Bombers. And if the Ticats are going to end the drought, Winnipeg is not going to make it easy.
That's called the over and under, as Zach Collaros has got a choice. He's got the under route here and the over route over top to Dembski. Left of your screen is where Dembski starts. Zach Collaros now has a choice. Do I hit the under route and the crosser, or do I go over and hit that deeper crosser to Nick Dembski? Dembski, a nice move to get it in the end zone.
3 plays, 48 yards. That's all it took with the breeze for Zach Collaros and the Blue Bombers to get a touchdown. They get the conversion from Castillo as well. And what was once a 12-point Hamilton lead is down to 2 with 5:33 to go on the clock here at Tim Hortons Field.
Lots and lots of time in Canadian football. 5 minutes is like 5 hours. And that's a great decision by Collaros to go to the deeper crossing route in Dembski. And just like that, when they turn the corner, this is the decision by Coach O'Shea to defer with the choice in the second half and take the win in the fourth quarter. Now they're seeing the dividends of that decision. What a play to get to the end zone for Dembski.
And how good that must feel. Recall he bobbled one that ended up being picked early in the Western Final last week. Made up for it with his play afterwards, but nothing could do it like reaching the end zone in a Grey Cup game.
Nice call for Buck Pierce. Well, congratulations and back to work. Now they're looking to rely on their defense. A defense that's been great in the fourth quarter throughout the regular season.
2-point lead. How big is that win now for Winnipeg? Tim White back for the kick. And it goes past the dead ball line for a single. So 2 points down to 1 point now. That is a strong breeze and a big kick by Sergio Castillo.
A great decision back a few series ago when Steinhauer, just before the half, remember when he took the timeout, got the 2 and out. That forced the safety. That's why they had the 2-point lead. Now it's down to 1 after that big kick with the win.
And the decision, you look back on the coin toss, realizing how strong this wind is. Winnipeg deferred to the second half, wanting the wind in the fourth quarter. The Hamilton 35, Jeremiah Masoli, hanging on to a 1-point lead in this Grey Cup. He completes it. Jalen Acklin with the ball. And Acklin getting near a first down up around And a flag is out.
Late flag. This is going to be an interesting call and a big one. Because Ackland was close to that first down marker. And it looks like Hamilton's walking backwards.
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness, Hamilton number 69, 15-yard penalty. It will be second down.
Well, let's take a look. You see him right at the bottom of your screen there. That's the rookie left tackle, Jordan Murray.
Bumps Winston Rose.
Well, he's basically cruising the pile, and he hits a guy that's just standing by the pile. Now, I didn't hear when the whistle went. This puts it in the hands. That's a defenseless player with his back down, thinking the play was over, and Murray gave him a shot in the back. That was Winston Rose.
So they had picked up a first down. So they're pushed back now to a second and 16, excuse me. The Hamilton 29, costly 15 when they were so close to a first. Brandon Banks. And he's taken down there by Nick Taylor. Up across the 35. Still a long way to go for another first.
Well, you know that's a massive penalty for the rookie and Jordan Murray. Ackland had the first down, taken off the board, second down, can't get there. Now Hamilton will have to kick it away. Momentum has just shifted to blue and white.
Just 1 point behind now with the wind at their backs. As the crowd quiets. A lot of Ticats fans, of course, here enjoying the home field, but difficult spot for Hamilton to be in now as they try to protect that lead against the wind. And another short punt by Joel Whitford. The Bombers have it. And just heading out of bounds, Winston Rose with it. But good field position. Down a point for Winnipeg, Suits, at their own 50.
Well, Whitford has shanked a couple of punts tonight, and yeah, the wind is a huge factor in the kicking game, obviously, but Whitford, again, a young player, rookie in his first year, is affected by the pressure of the situation because he cannot get a low drive and kickoff, give his defense more of a chance, but we need to make a stop right now.
Up at the Winnipeg 51. First down. Zach Collaros, Blue Bombers. Andrew Harris, right side, and a good gain across midfield.
Mark Washington now has a decision to make. Do you send the house and possibly put your secondary that has been a bit of a makeshift operation for this game, moving Tunde Adeleke to halfback and Katsatonis in that safety? Put them in one-on-ones if you blitz.
Second and 4. What a crucial second down for that Hamilton defense.
Made the line.
It's complete, and Darvin Adams is hit right at the 50 by Sionte Evans. Very close to a first down, but it is shy by about a foot and a half. 2:53 on the clock. 3-minute warning given. Grey Cup, 108. The hardware is on the line. It's getting late at Tim Hortons Field. We got a 1-point game. We're at Tim Hortons Field, down to the field now, and Matthew Cianetti.
Rod and Suits, you called it momentum change. A lot of nervous energy here on Hamilton sidelines. They're so close, but they're not quite there. Over to Winnipeg sidelines, Sarah.
Matthew, no one's sitting on the benches right now. Everyone's standing up watching. A lot of communicating going on between the players and coaches. They have faced adversity before. Think of last week. We'll see whether or not they can overcome it for a second week in a row.
Sarah, Matthew, thank you. You can feel the tension here in the stadium. Ticat fans, Bomber fans here too. On a 3rd down and 1, Winnipeg. They are at the Hamilton 50, trailing by a point with a strong breeze at their back. the short yardage situation for Sean McGuire. He keeps it. A flag comes out. It looks like he has enough for the first down, but wait for the flag.
Offside. Hamilton defensive line. 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
So a moot point with the offside and a 5-yard pickup. Big first down, Blue Bombers.
It wasn't movement on the offside, but one or more of the defensive linemen must have. That hand looked like it was just in the neutral zone.
So McGuire up. Collaros back in. First and 10. Hamilton 45. Dembski on the sweep. They string it out. He cuts it back. And he can't pick up much, if anything at all. Still around the 45. Second down.
That's right now. Now's the time. Stephen Lee Olsen says, I'll quote him, how bad do you want it? What you're made of. Right now is when you find out. Championship on the line. You need to stop if you're Hamilton. You need 10 yards if you're the Bombers. Try and get that repeat. Something that not many teams have done. The last time was Montreal in 09 and 10.
Nick Dembski is the injured player, shaken up near the Winnipeg huddle. When you think of that win, Suits, it is a 2nd and 10, so they're not thinking field goal yet, but if they had to, it would be around 52 yards, and Sergio Castilla in warm-up from that direction was hitting about 61.
Yeah, and you think that even though a long field goal, you know, is so difficult and low percentage that Michael O'Shea will have to do it. He can't take the gamble to give Hamilton the ball one more time and then maybe never get it back.
2:28 on the clock. What an interesting, exciting breakup this has been.
I'm telling you right now, when you're a kicker like Castillo and you're on the sideline, lots going through your mind trying to focus, because from that far out, those uprights look like a postage stamp.
Second and 10. Hamilton 45. Completes the pass. Wolotarski. Not enough for a first down, but that much closer. A yard and a half, 2 yards away.
Full blitz again. We wondered, will Mark Washington send pressure? Make Zach Collaros make a quick decision. Exactly what he does. Simone Lawrence up there in the line of scrimmage. They bring Cam Kelly. Collaros recognizes it. He gets it out there and makes it close. Now this is 2, not 1. So that's a field goal team. And it's still a long one. And it still looks like a postage stamp.
And it's Brandon Banks back in the Hamilton end zone. Shouldn't miss. Castillo, 4 for 4, longest 38. This from 44. And the lead. And Winnipeg is ahead. Sergio Castillo.
Nailed it. Money. With all the pressure on him. Enemy territory. Split the uprights, but there's still lots of time. Sean McGuire on the hold. Ball down, laces away, spin it, get the offhand out of there, and let the kicker do his thing. Money.
And I said this before, in the regular season, the worst team in field goal percentage in the CFL was Winnipeg at just over 62%. But Sergio Castillo is perfect so far. 100%, and that one has given Winnipeg the lead by 2 points, 24-22, with 1:52 to go on the clock.
Now the pressure shifts to Michael Domagala for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. If Jeremiah Masoli can move the ball against the #1 ranked defense in the league all season long, but they're not going to be able to kick the 61, 55-yarder into the wind. It's going to have to get down to around the 30, but the pressure clearly shifts now to Domagala.
Both kickers practicing against the wind from around the 35, and they were barely making it over. A 40-yarder would be daunting if this breeze continues the way it's been. Kicking off at the 35 with the wind at his back again. Tim White takes it and takes a knee. A 2-point game and an interesting decision for Tim White.
Well, it becomes a 3-point game now. The field goal, you still don't lose, but now you're going to overtime. And
do you agree with that decision?
No, I'm a little surprised.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised. And not only that, but he had lots of room to run. I'm not sure if he got instructions from the bench to do it. But giving up a point that would, I mean, right now they're trying to get field goal range just to tie.
So the Bomber lead is now 3. Hamilton does scrimmage from their 35. Mazzola. It's complete to Stephen Dunbar across the 50.
That's a biggie. That gets you started. That's a hard throw to throw into the wind, and Jeremiah Mazzola keeps the tip down on the ball here and knifes it into it. This is the out. It's the short side of the field, but he's got to get them hips around and just knife it in there and get it to Dunbar on the sideline. That's a big one.
The 51, a gain of 16, Dunbar. First down, Ticats. Mazzola off to the left, complete again, but nothing more. Jalen Acklin is wrapped up and taken down.
I think the crowd is still a bit stunned. Obviously, they're going to be quiet with their offense on the field, but a lot of puzzled looks as to why that kick. Tim White gave up a single.
A second and long. Mazzola. Good catch. Brandon Banks, but nothing doing. Essentially no gain. It'll be 3rd and long. And 1:15 on the clock, they have to go. And you have to think they have to at least get down to the 30 or 35 of Winnipeg to have a chance to make that kick.
Well, first thing they need to do is convert and get a new set of downs because they've got enough time. But, yeah, that's where they need to get to make the kick. What they need right now is 9 yards. Keep their hopes to collect that alive.
3rd down and 8. This could be the ball game. Down to a minute and break up 108. 3-point difference. Mazzola. It's complete to Jalen Acklin. And it's just enough, it would appear, to be a first down. It is right near the marker. And the sticks are indeed moving.
You are kidding me. Jeremiah Mazzola muscles this ball to his star receiver, Jalen Acklin. Look at the effort. Stretched out, pulls it in. New set of downs for Hamilton. Their hopes alive.
Gain of 9. 1st and 10. Winnipeg 48. Complete. Turning back his backs inside the 40 and down near the 35. 38 seconds to go.
Enough time to run a couple of plays and run your normal offense, not get into that mode where you might just try to run the ball to get it in the middle for a field goal attempt, because this is still a long field goal against that wind. When you consider from the line of scrimmage, the kicker and the tee are 7 yards back.
What a finish in this Grey Cup. Ticats need a field goal at least. Complete. Dunbar. Big first down. Inside the 15.
Field goal at least. Now they're looking for more. With that catch on the slant from Dunbar, now they're looking for more.
Gain of 19. What a drive being led by Jeremiah Mazzola. Clock ticking at 26. Handing off. Don Jackson still on his feet as he gets down near the Winnipeg 5.
Great composure from Don Jackson. Couple of jump cuts, getting it into inside the 5.
And that's another first down. It'll be a first and goal with the Grey Cup on the line.
Well, I tell you what, my thoughts right now are with thinking back to one of our colleagues, Chris Schultz, who in these moments would say, you look in the guy's eyes, are you prepared to do what it takes when the game is on the line? I'm thinking about him and our colleague Darchie.
We miss those guys so much.
The game on the line, who's going to make the play?
20 seconds on the clock. What a drive against the wind for Jeremiah Masoli and the Ticats.
Masoli can run the offense. I mean, he's got the whole playbook in front of him right now because he can even go draw and not worry about losing the clock and having it run out on him.
Masoli was disappointed, of course, not to get the start. Pulled for Dane Evans in the Eastern Final a week ago. What a spot for redemption. First and goal. Jackson, no. A blue and gold and white wall meeting him there with Willie Jefferson to take him down. Second down.
Now you have to be efficient. I mean, there's still time on second down to take a shot to the end zone. But you can't run around too much and lose a chance to tie the game.
Big second down and goal. Into the end zone for Ackland. Dietrich Nichols was there. It falls incomplete, and it is third down.
Alford and Nichols, the two rookies in the secondary for the Bombers, had to beat out 27 other players in training camp to earn the starting jobs, and they have just been playmakers. Nichols gets there in time and knocks it away. That close.
We have had overtime in Grey Cups before. Think back 5 years ago, Ottawa and Calgary at BMO Field in Toronto. Damagala puts it up, puts it through. Tie game. 4 seconds left in regulation.
How about a little overtime?
How about it? We waited so long for another Grey Cup. Getting an added treat here.
We don't want to go home.
We don't.
Got it back after 2 years, the lost season in 2020 when the world shut down, and the comeback here, and once again the game has delivered. That's how close Hamilton was to the go-ahead touchdown. Dietrich Nichols, the rookie, making a monster play.
That close to effectively ending a 22-year drought for the Hamilton Tiger Cats with just seconds on the clock in the fourth quarter.
I can't think of a better place to play the comeback season than right here in Hamilton. The Hall of Fame right here in the building. These passionate fans seen their team battle through a lot of adversity this season. 8 wins in the regular season, had to win 2 in the playoffs through Montreal and then in Toronto.
What a night. Yeah, a Ticat fan drinking from the cup early. It remains to be seen who gets to drink out of the real thing. It looks like 4 quarters won't be enough to find out. Janarian Grant, and the last play of regulation is taken down. Like 2016 in Toronto, like 2005 in Vancouver. We have overtime in the Grey Cup. Winnipeg 25, Hamilton 25. In overtime, let's take a look at the rules here, Suits.
Yeah, the teams will play the mini games. Each team will scrimmage from the opponent's 35-yard line. Most of the time, the team that wins the toss takes to play defense first. And if you score a touchdown, you got to go for 2.
So let's get to the coin toss to see how this overtime begins.
Okay, gentlemen, same coin. Grey Cup logo will be heads, and a Grey Cup trophy will be tails. Winnipeg as visitor. Call it, please. Tails. Tails has been called. We've got a heads. Hamilton has won the toss. What do you want? You want to play defense first. So now you're going to be on offense. Which side do you want to play the first mini game? Okay, so we're going to go that way. Winnipeg will have the ball first.
So Winnipeg has it first. Hamilton had wanted to be on defense first, and they're going with the wind, as you heard Adam Bighill say.
Yeah, the decision doesn't change. There's President Wade Miller and Danny McManus in the spotters booth, but the decision doesn't change because both teams play their offensive series from the same end.
Right.
So they both will have the wind with this choice by the Bombers, who did not win the toss. So Hamilton wins the toss in the mini game. They take defense first because then you know what you got to get.
Right. So they do have that win behind them to start overtime. Grey Cup 108. Andrew Harris picks up a few yards on that first down. They started at the 35.
Now, if both teams are tied after the mini game, they switch ends and they go into the win.
Because it would get especially interesting with the kicking game, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Because right now, when you start on the 35, you're already in field goal range for at least 3.
2016, 2005, and in 1961, the first one, Winnipeg beat Hamilton in overtime. Some movement, whistle blows. Did Kelly go offside, or was there
looks like they're discussing it because I saw 2 officials signal 2 different things initially.
Offside. Hamilton, number 95. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And that's another advantage of the command center, allowing a quick look in real time. Julian Hauser's going to jump into the neutral zone, and he's the reason that Jamarcus Hardrick moves. They can communicate in real time with the official and let him know to make sure they get the correct call there.
So 5 yards makes it a second and short, just a yard away from the new set of downs in the first overtime possession for the defending Grey Cup champion Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Harris on that second and short, and he does find his way to a first down, not much more.
Now, teams throughout the regular season will practice this scenario. They'll practice their 35 and in overtime scenario, and you may see plays that you haven't seen all year that both of these teams have been practicing all year for this very moment.
At stake, the Grey Cup for Hamilton, a 22-year drought for Winnipeg, looking to go back-to-back for the first time since 1962. First and 10, Harris, left side, more room, picks up 7 or 8 that time around inside the 20.
See how he presses the line? We talked about it in the pregame show, Rod. He presses the line of scrimmage. He doesn't sprint to the line of scrimmage. He presses it. Just moving forward, but allowing his blocking to set up so he can get the big body on Simone Lawrence, get that kick-out block, pick up good yardage on first down.
We've waited so long to see this game again. It's like we're being rewarded as football fans to get extra time and a thrilling finish between Winnipeg and Hamilton. Harris drives his way for another first down.
You almost have to get Andrew Harris when he's really rolling, and it's taken some time. Hamilton's defense did a very good job in the first half, but it's starting to accumulate now for Harris, and this is where, when the defense is worn down a little bit, tailbacks excel. Katsatonis tried to brace himself. Trying a hard time bowling there.
Down to the Hamilton 13. First and 10. Faking it. Dumping it off. It's low for Dembski. Second down.
Well, this down for Hamilton, a stop, is why they deferred the choice of the coin toss, so that they know now that the Bombers go field goal. They are basically in field goal position to tie when they get their turn on the 45.
Second and 10. Collaros with time. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Darvin Adams. 13-yard TD strike in Winnipeg's first overtime possession.
And this is what Zach Collaros has brought to this Winnipeg Blue Bomber team. Since he signed in 2019, led him to that championship, is composure. He knew he had 5-on-5 up front. Hamilton went with 5 on the pass rush. He had his guys 5, and he trusted them. The offensive line up front, he waited, gave it another couple of seconds, and then hits Darvin Adams over the middle. They got to go for 2.
And the pressure will be on Brandon Banks, Jeremiah Masoli, and that Ticat offense after this. They will need a touchdown. At the very least, we'll see what happens on this 2-point conversion try. As per the overtime rules. What a game.
Once again, Zach Collaros throwing his receiver open, bringing him back to the football. Carriel Brooks just could not get there in time. But this is a big one for the Hamilton defense right here. Give their offense a chance to win it with a 2-point convert if they can match the touchdown. Got to shake that one off.
So the 2-point try, 31-25 now. Collaros into the end zone and wide open to cap off that overtime touchdown with 2 more. Rasheed Bailey. And makes the task that much more daunting for the home side.
Yeah, pressure clearly on the home side now, because they need not only the major, but the 2-point convert to extend the game. Let's take a look at the play, because it looks like it's a bust that Collaros finds a wide open Rasheed Bailey in between the coverage. Adeleke there real late, and by his reaction, I would suggest that he's not even responsible for that middle zone, and just a bust in concentration at a crucial time.
So here we go. Hamilton needs a touchdown on this possession. Starting at the Winnipeg 35 and handing off to Don Jackson. Finds some room, gets some blocks. A flag comes out as he gets down inside the Winnipeg 25.
Holding Hamilton number 57, 10-yard penalty. We're going to replay first down.
They got the left guard, Brandon Revenberg, and pushes them back 10 more yards to the 45 and a first and 20.
Take a look and see what Brandon Revenberg did on this play at the down block on Jake Thomas. So you see the shoulder pad of Thomas get flipped up. He didn't let him move laterally.
So 1st and 20. Mazzoli just dumps it to Jackson. Adam Big Hill is there to meet him. Big Hill denies him.
Boy, and that pocket just collapsed in just enough time for the Bombers to force Mazzoli to dump it to Jackson, because he has a crossing route that's at about 10 yards, 12 yards that is wide open. If he holds on to that for another split second or two, he's got the crossing route in behind Adam Big Hill.
Big play by the outstanding defensive player, the caretaker of the Ticats, Bob Young, can only watch and hope. On the 2nd and 18, Mazzoli. Oh, nearly intercepted. It is! And it's over. They waited an extra year, and even regulation wasn't enough for Winnipeg, but they finally got it done. The Blue Bombers were the best before the CFL was put on hold, and the Blue Bombers are the best now. Back-to-back Winnipeg Grey Cup champions 2021. And heartbreak for the city of Hamilton. They were that close. Stunned silence at Tim Hortons Field.
Well, let's take a look one more time at the play. Looked like it bounced around a couple of times on this wide throw, almost intercepted underneath by Nichols. Kyrie Wilson, who's had himself a great football game in this championship, he gets the tip from Winston Rose, who kept it alive. They had to earn it, but boy, did they ever. They were the best team, as you mentioned, all season long. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It's been a long time since a team has gone back-to-back, and even though we missed a year, it is back-to-back.
The first to do it since the Montreal Alouettes in 09 and 10, but a stunning end. Dane Evans, injured quarterback in the second quarter. And it seems so sudden because it was a second down, and you figured there would be one more chance after that if it was.
Oh yeah, they're going for it. Oh, for sure.
And no, it gets bobbled, it gets picked, and just like that, Winnipeg is a Grey Cup champion again.
Mike Miller, the top special teams cover guy in the game.
Stunned reaction now. We've got lots of it. Let's go down to Sarah Orlesky.
Thank you, Rod. I'm joined by Zach. I mean, describe this win for me. It wasn't looking good for a while. There was no panic in this team, though. You can see it on the sidelines. Back-to-back champion.
Hey, Bo! Baby!
I love you, man.
Yeah! That's what we do!
Yeah!
That's what we do!
You know, we faced some adversity. I threw a couple picks, put us in some bad spots, and you know, this team, I've never been a part of a team like this, around a group of men like this. Just incredible, man. Just resiliency, perseverance. We did it all year. You know, just an amazing group.
How does this one feel different for you? We talked about the storybook into 2019 with everything that you were able to do. Most outstanding player come here.
I mean, we did it wire to wire. You know, it was just really nice to be a part of the team from day one. You know, and you know, form those bonds, form those relationships, and it's just that much sweeter for me personally. And man, we're bringing this back to Manitoba, back to Winnipeg. Can't wait.
Just finally, describe for me the emotions at the very end as you're waiting to see what the outcome was going to be.
You know, I thought we had it there before Jeremiah had an unbelievable game and an unbelievable last series there. And I thought we had him with the win and everything, but he put together a really nice drive. They made a field goal, and yeah, you know, no doubt on that final drive for us, and then our defense is our defense.
Congratulations on the win.
I want to give you a hug.
Let's go to Matthew Shinetti, who is with Andrew Harris.
Well, Andrew, last time you broke the drought for Winnipeg. What does this great win mean for you?
It's everything, man. This was such a challenging game. Their defense was unreal today, and you know, especially in the run game. We got the win in the fourth there, and that was massive for us. So I'm just so proud of my teammates for sticking to it. You know, our defense was unreal all year, and you know, we ended on a pick. So absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud of my teammates, so proud of my city, proud of my province, and I can't wait to bring this thing back home.
So many people have persevered through so much. You in particular this season, how hard did you have to work to get to this moment?
Oh man, it's this season's been the most challenging I've ever had in my life. So not only on the field, but personally, and proud of myself. I'm proud of the people that stuck with me, that were there in those hard times, and mostly my teammates, man. They were there for me throughout thick and thin, and I love this team. I love these guys.
Knowing what you had to sacrifice all throughout the year, what you have to work through, is this the greatest accomplishment for you?
Absolutely, man. Back to back. It's sweet right now. It's sweet.
I know so many will ask if this culminates a career, but how much do you want to celebrate this right now with your teammates? Collaros was just talking about how much the defense fought through. How much do you feel in this moment that you just want to celebrate with your teammates?
I want to get over there. I'm done with this, Matt. Let's go. I want to go party. Woo!
Just saw the Gatorade dump on Coach O'Shea. You know, both these coaches, great friends, former teammates. But Coach O'Shea, you hear it all week, you hear it all season, you hear it since he's been with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, that he first deals with the person, and second, he deals with the player. And that's why this team loves him the way they do, and they'll go through a wall for him. You hear that cliche all the time. But as Zach said when he was talking to Sarah, the first thing he said was, this locker room and this team is unbelievable. He's never been part of anything like it. They're building something, and have built over the last few years something real special in Winnipeg.
Let's go back down to Sarah Lesky standing by with Adam Bighill. Sarah.
Thank you so much. Adam, what can you say about the job of this team to be able to pull this one out in overtime?
I couldn't be more proud of these guys, man. I mean, I was saying it, 4 quarters, Zach Collaros is going to get this job done. I know it. We just got a locker room full of guys that believe in each other and play for each other to the end. I mean, that might be some of the most adversity we face all year long. But, you know, whatever it was, down 12 in the 4th quarter, really ain't nothing, right? So, man, we just believe in each other. I'm so proud, so happy. I mean, this is crazy.
When you know how difficult it is, obviously, to go as back-to-back champions. It's happened so rarely in the last 25 years in this league for it. How does this one feel different than 2019?
Well, you know what? People were telling us we were at the top, and we were just focused on being ourselves and taking it one at a time. But we knew that everyone had us circled on their calendar. You know, we came out hot. We played great all year. We showed that we were the team to be beat, and we showed that we were the team that couldn't be beat. And you know, we just kept constant work of keeping humble and understanding what it takes to win. And that's what this locker room has got figured out, is that we know it takes work, and we put it in every single day. And that's why this is so sweet.
Congratulations on the win. Let's go to Matthew Shinetti with Willie Jefferson.
Well, Willie, this is only the 3rd time we've gone back-to-back Grey Cup champions. This team dealt with the pressure of being the favorite. How did you deal with Hamilton pushing all the way back and pushing you to the edge today?
Man, we just been resilient, playing together, playing as a team, everybody having each other back, and not getting down on ourselves, man. We know it looked scary. It wasn't pretty. But, you know, that's the kind of football we play. We play dirty, grimy, ugly football. And 9 times out of 10, we come out on top. So, I love y'all, man. Just for Winnipeg.
You just said to Zach, I told you. What did you tell him?
I told him if they went up, we was going to have their back, man. All through the week, we told them. We was going to give them plenty of opportunities to go out there and put points on the board. Plenty of opportunities to go out there and put points on the board. We went in at halftime down 3. Everything was cool. We came out, you know, things got a little shaky. In the 4th quarter, we handle business. That's what we do as a defense. And when we handle our business as a defense, and we give Zach that ball in the 4th quarter, he makes stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? It came down to an overtime thing. When we got so much confidence in our offense as as a defense, they give us the opportunity to go out there and shut the lights off on teams. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go out there and shut the lights off.
All season long, how much have you seen your team persevere? What have you seen your team persevere through?
Just adversity, man. Just trying to get over that hump. We know everybody think we the front runners because we came off the Grey Cup and things last year, but it's hard to stay on top. It's hard to stay on top, man. Coach O'Shea and everybody in the organization, in the locker room and things like that, they keep us humble. The players, the older players and things like that keep the young players humble. You know what I'm saying? Like this was not easy, man, and this was a team effort, and everybody put in so much work in the fourth quarter, especially in the fourth quarter, to stick their head in there and make a play for the team and not for themselves.
I know you want to get to your daughter, Willie. Thank you. Congratulations.
Man, I love y'all, man. CFL football, man. Winnipeg, we coming back.
Sarah, to you and Darvin Adams.
Thank you so much, Matt. Darvin, you know what it was like for this organization with the drought for so many years. We were able to end it in 2019. What goes through your mind now as you are back-to-back champions?
I mean, this... we broke the mic. I appreciate it. Oh, look back, easy work. But no, it was great. I'm sorry for the mic, though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It felt great, man. I mean, we was down. And I guess the outside thought we was down, but really on our sideline, we was good. You know what I mean? And our defense did what they do all year. And, we win the game.
The veteran of this receiving core, and I asked you earlier this week about the fact that you hadn't been as much of a big part of this offense in terms of yardage throughout this season, and you told me, but you knew that big catch was going to be there when you needed it. What went through your mind as you got into the end zone?
It just felt good. Zach gave me a chance. Coach Buck gave me a chance. The O-line did their thing the whole night. And I just had to do my job. That's catching the ball. That's easy.
Who do you think of as you win this championship?
Man, the Winnipeg fans, man, they deserve this. Just the province, you know what I mean? And, it feels good to the organization, just to show people what we built of, and this ain't no fluke. It's what we do, you know what I'm saying, back to back, like we never left.
And finally, what can you say about the job that Zach Collaros and offensive coordinator Buck Pierce have done this season to be able to help get this team to this point?
I mean, it shows on the field, obviously, for one, Zach just, on and off the field is a great player. He's a great friend, a great leader. And Coach Buck, I'm so happy for him. He gave all of us an opportunity at any chances, He had faith in us, and I'm just thankful for him, and I'm happy for him.
Congratulations. We know that the 2019 parade was something else. We'll see what we have in store for 2021. Thank you, Darvin.
No doubt.
I want to go back to Willie Jefferson for a second. Another great example of the American player that comes up, falls in love with the game, falls in love with the country. He and his wife, Holly, and their daughter, Kelly, are going to try and probably live in Winnipeg all year round and make Winnipeg their home. The players on this team, on this Bomber team, do not want to leave it. And I know we have a lot of players in free agency every year, and that's something the league is going to look at, but
they want to keep this together.
They want to stay in Winnipeg, keep this together, keep that locker room together.
And you can't help but think that one of the keys in 2021, in addition to their talent, of course, was that they stayed together from that championship year more than any other team in the CFL. If you looked at the starters from that 2019 Grey Cup, so much of it was the same, and they really did gel, and you can tell, as you talked about, their bonds are very close. The champions of 2021, first repeat champion since the Alouettes of 09-10. And by the way, for Michael O'Shea, he is the first Canadian head coach in the modern day history of the Canadian Football League to win back-to-back, and he joined some very exclusive company as a head coach for that.
Welcome to the 2021 Grey Cup Awards and Trophy presentation. To present the awards for Most Outstanding Player and Most Outstanding Canadian, the Commissioner of the CFL, Randy Ambrosie, and your host, James Duthie.
Thank you. And first of all, Hamilton, I know you didn't get the ending you wanted, but thanks for being such wonderful hosts. It won't be another 25 years before this game comes back here. The most outstanding player of the 2021 Grey Cup, Zach Collaros. Zach, 2 years ago, you were the new guy, only in Winnipeg a few weeks. What does it mean not only to win back-to-back, but to win wire-to-wire and be the quarterback this entire season for this team?
Yeah, back-to-back for this organization, for the province, just unbelievable. It's about the team, man. Look at these guys. Everybody's family's in the stands. It's been an incredible year. I can't say enough how much everybody means to me. I've never been on a team like this. I love everybody on the team. We're going to party tonight, baby. Let's go.
One more for you. You guys dominated in 2019. This was a tough football game. What was said down the stretch in the fourth quarter when you were down to get you back up here?
You know, nothing needed to be said. You know, usually when I come off the field, you know, Willie, Jackson, the guys are like, hey, we're going to get your ball back, and that's what happened. And, you know, on offense, locked in, did our thing.
Congratulations, back-to-back champion.
What a team, baby. What a team. Look at these guys. Let's go. Let's go.
Zach Collaros, the most outstanding Canadian of the 2021 Grey Cup is Nick Dembski. Winnipeg boy, started in hockey. Did you ever dream you'd be the most outstanding Canadian of the Grey Cup?
I mean, I don't care about any of this. I owe it all to them, man. I love my teammates, dog. I love them. I wish I could do this with them every year, year in and year out, man.
It was an incredible season, a dominant season, but this was a difficult football game. What does it say about this team that you were able to come back and then have the drive of the season in overtime?
We got grit, we're relentless, and we know how to finish games, man. We champs.
Congratulations, Nick. Commissioner, before we present the cup, after 2 long years, the canceled season, a shortened season, what does it mean to you in this league to get to this day, this crowd, and that incredible football game?
Well, I'm going to start by just thanking the Bombers and the Ticats for putting on one whale of a show. All of Canada are proud of both teams tonight, and thank them very much. You know, as far as what does it mean, it's you know, the feeling of joy is just overwhelming that we had our bump and we showed our resilience and we've come back and we're going to be stronger than ever. It's pure joy, and I thank all of these great players and all the great players from across our league. Now we get to look forward to 2022.
Well, you have a job to do, and I'm going to let you get to it. It is time, Bombers. The CFL, its governors, its wonderful fans present to you the symbol of football and Canada, and this year, perhaps more than ever, of resilience and greatness. Nous vous présentons la Coupe Grey. It's yours, the Grey Cup.
Tangerine Raptors basketball tonight on TSN.
Veuillez vous lever, retirer chapeaux, tuques et casquettes et accueillez les membres des Forces armées canadiennes et la récipiendaire d'un prix Juno, Savannah Ray, pour l'interprétation de notre hymne national.
CFL fans, we now ask that you please rise if you are able, remove your hats, and welcome members of the Canadian Armed Forces and Juno Award-winning Savannah Ray for the singing of the Canadian National Anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land. glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
It's been a long wait.
Collaros to the end zone looking for Lawler, and he hangs on. Touchdown, Winnipeg. Are you ready, Canada? Completion to the end zone. Touchdown, Jalen Acklin. Evans with the strike.
The kickoff.
The kickoff is next.